vandalism at Washington Park recently. Parks and Rec Director Chris Borden.
The courts are lighted here. Normally we keep them in the summer on until about 9:30. And we're just saying we're not going to make those lights available kind of as a deterrent because we do think that most of this inappropriate use of the park happens during the evening hours.
He says residents reported to them seeing individuals tossing basketballs at windows of their offices located at the park. Borden says the city's invested about $500,000 for upgrades recently, including new basketball and pickleball courts. Governor Lamont back from what was billed as an economic trade mission to Germany. He says a number of ideas were exchanged between Connecticut and German officials.
Helicopters and jet engines and submarines. So we share that workforce. Obviously, aerospace. We have a lot of transatlantic connections between Germany and Pratt & Whitney.
He says one of the main purposes of the trip was to touch base with executives from companies in Germany that already have a foothold in the state, as well as gauge interest in other potential partners. WTIC News Time is coming up on 3:04 from the WTIC 24-hour traffic network. Police activity in Meriden continues at West Main, the area of Colony and Grove Streets. Elsewhere, it's road work in East Hartford, 84 west between 54 and 48. They've been working in the left lane there. Eastbound in Plainville, 84 between 35 and 37 is right lane work. Got a 3-vehicle crash to report in the Hartford area, 84 east between 44 and 46 with the left lane blocked. Meteorologist Bob Larson has the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
Warm, humid air from the southeastern states is being pumped directly into our area, and this trend will continue over the next couple of days and nights. The rest of today, mostly cloudy and humid, with a couple of showers. High is 78 to 82. Humid and rather cloudy tonight with a couple of showers and in some areas a thunderstorm. Tonight's low near 70, and for tomorrow, clouds and a few sunny breaks. Again, humid with a couple of showers and maybe a thunderstorm, especially in the afternoon and at night. High tomorrow 78, low tomorrow night once again around 70. And more of the same on Thursday. Warm and humid, clouds and occasional slight high 84. As a cold front approaches the area, we expect a couple of showers and thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and evening. Any storm can bring flooding downpours and localized damaging wind gusts. Later Thursday night, it'll dry out and skies will clear with the low of 65. Much nicer weather on Friday, partly sunny, lower humidity, and a high temperature of 84. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Wall Street, the Dow is up 41 points. The Nasdaq's up 26, and the S&P's ahead 2 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Conquer your career with Career Connect. When it comes to your future, the sky's the limit. But it all starts with a first step. Get connected to training and job opportunities. Eligible applicants can get help with transportation, childcare, housing, and technology. With the right resources to succeed, you're unstoppable. Register today at ct.gov/careerconnect. This project is supported by Federal Award Number SLFRP-0128, awarded to Connecticut by the U.S. Department of the Treasury.
Hi, Don Cusson here. With summer travel upon us, before you hit the road, have your car or motorhome checked out by Cusson Automotive. When was the last time your vehicle had a thorough inspection and not just an oil change? Your tires, what condition and how old are they? Your cooling system, what condition are your belts and hoses in? Are your brakes ready for a road trip? What about your engine? Is it running at peak performance? Based on the price of gas, be sure you optimize your fuel mileage. So before you head out, do it right with Cusson Automotive.
Hey there, weekend warriors. Tom Shattuck here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? I know I am. What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing? It's about your weight. Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made in your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Sports became a bigger part.
1 minute.
In the 1950s. In the
Thank you,
early
sir.
years, the focus was on coverage of the Hartford boxing scene, as well as local football rivalries and annual coverage of the Indy 500. In 1952, we started covering what was then the Insurance City Open, and 72 years later, we are still covering the tournament, which we now know as the Travelers Championship. In 57, we started regularly broadcasting the Boston Red Sox baseball team, and as you also know, the games are still heard right here. Also in 57, George Ehrlich, who was then considered the best play-by-play announcer in all of New England, joined the sports staff here, and with Floyd Richards brought UConn basketball and football to listeners. In 1973, WTIC became the radio home of the Hartford Whalers and broadcast the games until the team left Hartford in 1997. Sandy Terenzi and the Livian team at Keller Williams is proud to sponsor this moment in WTIC history. The real estate team offers extensive services, support, and expertise. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, call them at 860-855-SOLD.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! Got to come into that right spot. It's Reese on the Radio. Filling in for Todd Feinberg on News Talk 1080 WTIC. Famously from ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Don't forget, check out the program Sundays on the Odyssey app, or just go to WTIC or just listen. If you're in the Nutmeg State, plenty of news and plenty of views to get into today. Why are you doubting me? Why am I being doubted? Is it because you don't respect me? Have I not earned it yet? Okay, fine. All right, I'll accept that. I will accept that I have not earned your trust yet. I accept. I don't have to get two things in a row. I don't have to get two predictions in a row in order to be considered the prognosticator extraordinaire. But didn't I tell you she was going to resign? Did I not say it? Pushback after pushback. No one's going to be held responsible. No one's going to. And I said no. There was just too much weight. And the president is MIA. He couldn't possibly show any confidence in her in his state whatsoever. He's already trying to faux an endorsement of his vice president to take over the reins for the election in 2024. He can't throw his weight behind anybody. He's got no power. There was no choice but to resign. What must I do to get you people to understand that Kimberly Cheadle had no wins in all of this? It was a colossal failure on her part. Otherwise, she looks like she's in on it. Do you understand that there were so many failures here? The only conclusion that people could come up to is, what if she's in on it? The assassination attempt. How could she think she had any confidence? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was crapping on her. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was sounding like a trumpeter yesterday. Did you not witness that? Now, I'm not suggesting that if you lose Ocasio-Cortez, you've lost everything, but let's be real, folks. Yes, we know that Joe Biden's never fired anyone. But again, do you remember my statement yesterday about why Joe Biden had to drop out? The optics of an assassination attempt on your rival. The optics with everything that's going on. It all looks like a coup. It all looks orchestrated. It does not go over well with the American people, no matter what side of the political angle you're on. It doesn't matter. It resonates with people. And people are, naturally today, more people are on the conspiracy theory or conspiratorial than ever before. People who were never like this 5, 6, 7 years ago are deep in right now. They think everything is a conspiracy. Remember the phone call last night? With Kamala Harris when she was at the campaign headquarters in Delaware? Joe Biden calls in. You've got people online now testing to find out whether or not that was AI. Nothing is real to them today. Nothing. Everything must fall under some form of scrutiny today. So you're going to sit up here and tell me that Kimberly Cheeto and the Secret Service would allow this 20-year-old kid to get a 140-yard line of sight shot into Donald Trump after everything we witnessed, and no one was going to think, holy crap, they're trying to kill this guy. Even if it is baseless for them to think that, they cannot avoid those optics, especially when this woman gets there and realizes no one recorded the radios of the Secret Service that day. She never kept the timeline. She hasn't visited the site and gotten an update from the people on the ground. She couldn't answer questions, and people thought that with all of that happening, that she was just going to walk and stay in her job. For God, this was, for me, no, this was easy. This was fish in a barrel for me as a prediction. This was nothing. Nothing. We'll take your calls in a little bit, I promise. I promise we'll get into your phone calls. But I want to give a little 5 o'clock focus today. In the 5 o'clock focus, I've got to ask a question. And I think I already have my answer to this. Should low-income housing be allowed in your community? Should low-income housing be allowed in your community without your say-so? Should you be able to fight this? Let me give you sort of an example. 5 o'clock, I'll be taking your phone calls. Wait until 5 o'clock to respond to this. I'll fill up the whole hour with your phone calls. But think about this. In Avon, they have approved a New York developer's 4-story affordable housing community, 64 units in the town of Avon. There's another one that's going to be built, and it's because of this this new law that you have to go to court in order to battle. But after all of the hard work that you've done to, let's say, move into the suburbs or move to an affluent community, should they be able to build low-income housing into your community without your consent? Or even if you have to fight, you have to take them to court to fight against it. And if you lose, they build it anyway. Don't you deserve to move to the community of your choosing to get away from low-income housing? And I know this is going to sound cruel, people, but let's be honest, okay? People in the hood aspire to move to towns where there is no hood. Now you're suggesting that this affluent community that you worked so hard, saved enough money, built a credit score to move into so you can get out of the hood is now just going to be hood light or hood like. And the state has pretty much just said that you don't deserve to be in an affluent community, that all your hard work, everything you've saved, all the grit and sweat equity you put into your career so you can build a life for your family, no matter what your stripe, because that's supposed to be the brass ring. For anybody, I don't care who you are, that's the brass ring. A kid like me, former homeless kid, kicked out when he was 15, worked hard, scraping by, high school dropout, this sludge of a human being ended up buying his own. Look how long it took me to buy my own home. I'm about to be 55. I got my own home when I was 54. That's a lot. A lot of people struggle longer than that to get their first home, but I got mine. Do you think I'm moving into a neighborhood to find out that they're just going to bring anybody into it? No, I'm out of there. What's the sense anymore? Avon should revolt, but they may not have a choice. They may have to go to court. And people who think that it's cruel, that I would think that, or anyone else for that matter would think that, I want to hear from you. Tell me why. Tell me why we need to make the suburbs affordable for people who haven't earned it like everyone else. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that may sound cruel. Okay, let's be honest. I don't care. I don't care that it sounds cruel. Life ain't fair. It never has been and it never will be. And I don't think that the people who have worked hard to earn where they live, because that's what they've done, they've earned where they live, unless you can prove otherwise. You can tell me that whether or not any of these people in Avon have inherited their homes, and you can make an argument about that all day. But the people who have worked hard or do work hard to have those homes in Avon, who have built and put all of their sweat equity into turning that community into what it is now going to be all of a sudden circumvented by the government that says you must have low-income housing. And they can't say anything about it. And you don't think that if you add this low-income housing that you're not going to be bringing some sort of foul element? Why? Because they're low income, they're not capable? No, you shouldn't say that about people who make low. I'm not saying anything. I'm suggesting why. Why should we make it accessible for anybody if so many people work so hard to turn it into the community that it has? Why should people be allowed to skip the line? Now, look, I don't know about you, but I won't let a guy skip the line in front of me at the movie theater. If we're going to make it equal, if we're going to make it fair, then everybody in the neighborhood should get a break. It's unheard of. It's unheard of. But people are going to be doing it. And I'm reading 2 articles now. This one coming out of the Hartford Courant. Developer proposes Connecticut affordable housing project with a twist. 2 bedrooms, 2 stories. This is just townhouses. And here's the rub. Here is the rub, the part that they're not telling you. This is all government subsidized, folks. The government's got their hand in this one. The government's deeply embedded in this. It's going to be Section 8 housing up the wazoo. That's exactly what's going to happen here. And if you are a developer in that community, I know, look, for me, it screams, it reeks of kickbacks. It just does. It reeks of it. And I think those communities need to be careful. I think all of those communities need to be careful. But we will definitely take your calls on that in the 5 o'clock hour. That's the part of the 5 o'clock focus. So make sure you give us a call, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Kimberly Cheadle, why resign now? Why resign now? And what are we going to get out of her resignation? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What she needs to do is be hauled back into the Senate this time, and everyone else, even including Alejandro Mayorkas, drag his butt into there as well, subpoena them, by the way, to come in and testify, and then Bring in the local police department from Butler, Pennsylvania, whoever there is in charge. Get them all in a room together and watch them throw each other under whatever bus they can in front of the American people. That's what they should do. Let's go to the phones. 860-522-WTIC, Everett's in East Hartford. Hello, Everett. You're on Reese On The Radio.
Hello, thank you for taking my call. Yeah, I mean, as far as her resigning, the only thing that does is that helps the Democrats look a little bit better. It shows them in a little bit better light.
Right, you think because they joined, it was a bipartisan effort.
Like a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's right. It doesn't look like a conspiracy because it looks like a bipartisan effort to get rid of her.
What they should do is, once she's technically no longer in that position, call her back in.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
Because then she can't fall back on, oh, well, it's my job and there's certain things I can't divulge.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. No, you're not in that position anymore. You're a citizen.
Right, exactly. But you know what, Everett, here's where you're right about that whole thing about the Democrats sort of, they escaped some scrutiny because they called for her resignation. But remember, the optics are the reason. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and everybody who's in Congress knows that the overall theme of the American citizen is, was this a setup? And was it come on, look how many people in this country today have a lot of their fears, if not queries, about the Kennedy assassination. A lot of those things that people believed before have been completely established now as fact, that there was a conspiracy behind his killing. So you have an assassination attempt against the former president of the United States, the presumptive, at that point, the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party. No one's answering any questions. They knew that the optics looked like, hey, people are going to hold us responsible. This is going to hurt us in the election. We get an election year with a candidate who almost got his head blown off. We better get behind whoever wants to oust this woman, which is exactly what they did. It doesn't matter whether or not they believe it or not, or even if they agree with getting rid of her. They had to do it because it's politics as usual.
Yeah, and in politics, as usual, it's like a magician. They always get you looking at the left hand, and you're not paying attention to what the right hand's doing, or vice versa.
Kansas City
There's
Shuffle, my
always that
friend.
illusion.
That's it. That's exactly what I was saying yesterday. That's right on point, Everett. Thank you very much for the call.
And then,
oh, no, go ahead, quickly.
Real quick on that thing going on in Avon with I don't know how they got that passed, but I know in the town of East Hartford that if there's a referendum,
yes,
and 20% of the registered voters have to show up. If 19.9% of the people show up, they could throw the vote out.
That's correct.
Change it to whatever they want.
That's exactly right. But it's funny because Avon, well, I'll talk about it. I've got this story coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. But thank you, Everett. Do I have enough time, Roland, to take Keith real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, I'll take Keith. Keith, you're on. Keith in Marlboro. Hello, Keith. You're on with Reese On The Radio.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, Keith?
Not much. My problem with the Secret Service director is that she seemed apathetic the whole time. Like, she didn't do any research, and when someone asked her, why wasn't there anyone on that roof, she said because it was slanted.
Right.
Did she not know that snipers were on two different roofs that were more slanted than the one that he was on? It just seemed like she didn't care. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if you have one person in power that hates Trump and she's just told everyone, no, we're set there, then should she be investigated criminally? That's
exactly. Keith, you're exactly what I'm talking about, what I said earlier, right? You don't have to be conspiratorial to look at this and not think that there's a conspiracy, right? You could be a person who's like, no, I never fall into the conspiracy theory thing. I'm a guy who likes facts and reason. And then hear this woman's testimony, watch everything that transpired, find out about what she said about the slanted roof and all that other stuff, and then see the picture with the snipers on an angle that's far more dangerous than what this kid was on. And you come, all of a sudden, the conspiracy theory starts creeping into your veins, like out of nowhere. And you start saying to yourself, wait a minute.
Well, what scares me is I've always put the Secret Service at a different level.
So did I.
These are guys they'll jump on top of you and take a bullet, just like Bradley did for Reagan. You're like, these people are unbelievable. But when she spoke, I was like, she doesn't seem like the normal Secret Service person that I've always envisioned.
She sounded like a bureaucrat.
Yeah, it's like she didn't seem to care. Like, oh, there was a slanted roof. We were horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yep, you're 100% right. Thank you, Keith. Much appreciated, sir. We're going to continue to talk about this some more, so stick around. Make sure you give us a call, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. It's Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
A devastating fire roars through your business. Would you be back up and running in less than 24 hours?
I guess when I realized how bad the fire was, I called Tab.
That's Ben DeVivo with Willimantic Waste Paper Company. They recycle anything from paper to mattresses.
Right away, I got their after-hours service, and within minutes, one of the technicians called me back. He logged into our server, saw that it was offline. The technician and the head of operations actually came on site to see what they could do. We talked about if we were able to get into the building, what we could recover. We got our server out. We went to a remote location. Tab set that up. They worked tirelessly throughout the night, and they got us up and going for the next morning.
Tab Computer Systems got Ben's fire-ravaged business back up and running in less than 24 hours.
It was amazing. I was impressed.
Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience to get your office network running and keep it running. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB, the numeral 4, H-E-L-P, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about?
Damn it, what's his name?
Well, the joy of early bedtime. And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certain.
Tommy V in the house. What's up, big guy?
Now, a WTIC news update.
Okay.
3:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The head of the Secret Service is out. Kimberly Cheetle has resigned amid intense criticism for the handling of the assassination attempt on former President Trump. This amid concerns over how the shooter was able to get as close as he did to the location of Trump's rally in Pennsylvania back on July 13th. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez will resign effective August 30th. The 70-year-old was convicted this month for taking bribes and being a foreign agent for Saudi Arabia. Meriden police continue their investigation into a fatal shooting. They say the death of a woman Monday night was the result of a dispute. The mayor plans to speak, or did speak on this earlier this afternoon, saying that investigation is ongoing. Uptick in so-called skimmers being placed on credit and debit card machines at self-checkouts in stores in various towns. The suspects have hit stores in Naugatuck, Plainville, and Prospect recently. Democratic leaders Charles Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have endorsed Vice President Harris, capping off their party's swift embrace of her 2024 candidacy. Harris made her first campaign stop today in Wisconsin, saying the election runs through the Badger State. On another front, President Biden has returned to the White House after a week-long battle with COVID. He will address the nation for the first time since he announced he would not seek re-election. That comes up tomorrow night. WTIC News Time 3:31. Bob Larson's got the forecast.
Mostly cloudy and humid the rest of this afternoon. The cup of the showers, highs 78 to 82. Humid and rather cloudy tonight. Cup of the showers and perhaps a thunderstorm, low 70. Humid tomorrow, more clouds than sun. Cup of the showers and a thunderstorm around, especially in the afternoon and at night. High 78, low 70. Warm and sticky on Thursday. Clouds and sunny breaks. Cup of the showers and thunderstorms mostly in the afternoon and evening. High 84. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
74 cloudy skies in Hartford from the WTIC 24-hour traffic network. Still working a crash eastbound 84 in the Hartford area. The backups begin at exit 41 and extend out to 46. That's a good 2+ miles all due to a 3-vehicle crash that has the left and center lanes blocked. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
It's great to have neighbors you can count on. For more than 45 years, you've been able to count on the law firm of Brown, Painderis & Scott for professional legal counsel, from family law and business to property disputes and personal injury claims. At Brown, Painderis & Scott, our team of lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience and are your neighbors. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Nick Painderis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Men, though it really does go without saying, practicing better medicine almost always means better outcomes for patients. And if you suffer with erectile dysfunction, you certainly want a good outcome. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And because we do practice better medicine, we're the leader in treating men's sexual health issues in the Northeast. ED is a terrible condition. It causes stresses in relationships. It creates anxiety and undue hardships on a man and often on their partner as well. Yet many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But I want to tell you today that you can be free of ED. Seriously, if you're like most men, the treatments we offer at Northeast Men's Health will work for you. In fact, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means you can likely enjoy great sex again without the stress that ED can create. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together, we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission: to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hi, I'm Mark, and my family's from Bristol. Allaire Elder Law met my #1 goal when I decided to work with them, to make sure my parents and their assets were protected legally so they can enjoy the rest of their time together and not worry about becoming one of the Title 19 horror stories. And our family cannot thank them enough.
Find out more at AllaireElderLaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
Did you know that
minute.
customers would recommend AAA insurance to a friend? 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 people don't even like Philly cheesesteaks. More loved than the most loved sandwich in the city of brotherly love? Does that make us siblings? Well, we do treat our customers like family. Legendary service and superior coverage from AAA Insurance. Something 9 out of 10 people would recommend. Find out why at AAA.com/insurance and get a quote. Based on a 2023 customer survey. Insurance provided by CSAA Insurance Exchange.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I get physical. All right. All I had to do was tell you that I love that album. And now you're going to play every bumper from it. It's Reese on the Radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC. LA in the house. Tommy V in the house. Michael B. Harry B. And commentary all in the chat room. If you want to join the chat room, be certain to go to reasonoradio.com. And we're on X, also known as Twitter, Facebook, and even LinkedIn as well. You can check us out there. And you can watch the show live. I'll get to the phone calls in a second. I'm getting this text messages Hartford Sarah Bronin confirmed by Senate to lead National Historic Preservation Organization that advises the president. Many things involved in this thing. I'm going to get into a little more about it in the 5 o'clock hour, but that's why I called it the 5 o'clock focus, because a lot of people who are probably coming in, you may have seen the article in the Hartford Courant today, but there's another one in the CT Insider website. That's the story about Avon. And again, it begs the question, should people have a right to push back on low-income housing coming into their community? And I don't even understand whether or not people don't get the significance of not wanting that in a community. And it's primarily Section 8. I'm telling you that's the rub that people don't pay attention to. But like I said, we'll get into that a little bit, and I'll read more of the story. Today, I'm actually going to go into the undecided voter, which is nonsense. It's so laughable. Just stick around in the next hour, and I'll play this audio for you from a woman by the name of Kimberly Burrell in Philadelphia. She's considered an undecided voter. She is a black woman. And when you hear this audio, it goes right to the heart of something I was talking about last week, even if not Monday, about the undecided voter and how laughable this is, the term undecided voter. When you listen to this woman, she doesn't sound undecided at all, but she claims she is. But we'll talk about that in a bit. But we're talking about Kimberly Cheadle right now, the Secret Service director, or former Secret Service director, who has since resigned. I knew this was going to happen. Many people called it a surprise. I'm still trying to understand how they could see this as a surprise. It was easy to detect. It was as certain as the sunrise that the American people had zero confidence in this woman. Let me give you an example of what I want to say. Let me make sure I get the caller right. I'm almost certain it was Keith in Marlboro, who was talking about the information, or at least Kimberly Cheadle's conversation with ABC News' Pierre. I always forget his last name now. But the sloped roof. Representative Pat Fallon of Texas had this conversation with her during their testimony.
Visited the site 2 more times than you have, and he had a drone, and he picked the AGR building. So you said, do you remember in an ABC interview you did that you didn't have people on the roof of the AGR building because you were worried about safety because of the slope?
I recall that statement.
Okay. Does the Secret Service have written policy you can share with us about slope roofs?
No.
Okay. So why'd you act like there was one? Because isn't your practice to comment on enormous events of enormous national implications when you're ignorant of the facts? That's rhetorical. So here's this thing with the slopes. You go all up to like 1812. You can go to a 112, which is about as flat as you can get without it being completely flat. And you're saying that there was a danger, safety concern there. But the problem is, Director, you put your counter snipers on a 312 roof, which is steeper than the 112. And by the way, the 112 is ADA compliant. You can build a ramp for a wheelchair on a 112 roof.
Now, in the event that, again, numbers are horrible on radio. So a ramp for a person with a wheelchair, meaning that they're assisted or not with a wheelchair, the angle that the roof was on, you could build a ramp for a wheelchair person to enter a building, and it is not considered too steep or dangerous for a person to go up and down with a wheelchair. The angle is, it's almost as close to as flat you can get. So when she says this on ABC News that we didn't have a sniper up there because of the slope, it's ridiculous. Not only that, having never visited the site, still hasn't been there. Kimberly Cheadle is, again, putting her own reputation in harm's way, her own credibility in harm's way when she says that. And Pat Fallon is only echoing what we've all been talking about since the incident.
So these are nothing but pathetic excuses, and they make no sense, and they're a bunch of cow dung. All the law enforcement I've spoken with over the last 9 days are amazed that the AGR rooftop was not secure. And you want to know why? Because it's dangerous. I have never had any long gun training in my life.
This is the part.
I own an AR-15, and last time I shot it 1 time my whole life, was 6 years ago. That is until Saturday, where we recreated the events in Savoy, Texas. We recreated what happened in Butler. I was lying prone on a sloped roof at 130 yards at 6:30 at night. And I knew that he had a scope. I didn't know what kind, red dot or magnified. So I shot 8 rounds from both. You know what the result was? 15 out of 16 kill shots. And the one I missed would have hit the president's ear.
What irony. A guy who hasn't fired an AR-15 in 6 years took the same exact shot as the shooter. And 15 of 16 were kill shots. And the one that missed was the one that hit the ear.
That's a 94% success rate.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Again, you think she would have been able to stick around with that testimony alone? Forget what the Nancy Mace exchange, where she's practically got to curse the woman out. But this is colossal in failure. To the phones we go. 860-522-WTIC. George is in St. Louis. Hello, George.
Hi, Reese. I think the line of questioning at the hearing and everybody's approach to this is completely wrong.
Talk to me.
Here's the thing. A sniper or the Secret Service never, they go to a site multiple times before they plan an event.
That's correct.
Multiple times.
Or at least they're supposed to.
Somebody was at that site, Butler, Pennsylvania, prior to July 13th.
Right.
Here's my point. Thomas Crooks was sighted prior to July 13th at Butler, Pennsylvania, probably sighted on the roof and probably with a rangefinder. The Secret Service probably saw him, but never apprehended him. And here's why. Because that's a Democrat Secret Service operating for the Biden administration. This was their tool to take out Trump the day of July the 13th.
Now you see, now hold on, George. Now again, look, I can't give that credibility at all. However, I don't know the politics of the Secret Service or the people, the advanced team that went to that site, right? I don't know that. I can't say that for certain. Neither can you. We don't know that. However, if indeed the Secret Service got an advanced look at that area, saw this shooter, canvassing, as it were, because that's what he was doing, canvassing the area, because, according to Pat Fallon here, he had been to the site twice before. And that's known. Well, I don't know why it's known, but it's known that he was there. But I will say this. There was a lackadaisical approach to him on the grounds the day of that should have even apprehended him, even if it had, if it had lended nothing, like if they learned nothing by apprehending him, and there was nothing suspicious, and he ends up leaving, no harm, no foul, or even they just don't allow him in on a zero tolerance basis, that would be one thing. But I'll give you this amount of credibility as far as the credibility to your statement. Until we speak to the Secret Service that you're talking about, who said that they saw him and they allowed him to run, I'm not going to go with that. I just can't. I think it's irresponsible to suggest it. Is that fair?
Well, no, what I'm saying is all security breaches for the Trump July 13th rally were intentional. They wanted this.
You think they wanted this again? Look, George. Like I said, the reason why she had to resign is because no matter where you sit on this.
Well, here's the thing, Reese. I can probably prove this. Thomas Crooks lived in Bechtel Park. The distance between that and Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It would have been a 45-minute ride.
Correct.
So 45 minutes round trip. In the time it took him to visit the site multiple times, he would have had to buy gas somewhere. I can prove this. If prior to the July 13th he bought gas somewhere between
Bethel and Butler.
Bethel Park and Butler, Pennsylvania. If he bought gas anywhere between any of the stations between those points, that verifies exactly what I said.
Okay. Well, like I said, all we have to do, and if that investigation, I think, look, being 10 days now, 11 days, we're 10 days out of the assassination attempt. I don't know if that information is going to come quickly, if it's going to come slowly, or whether or not it's going to slow walk. I have a feeling that it's going to slow walk because if the FBI is the one that's in charge of this may be slow walked. Alejandro Mayorkas is now, pretty much in charge. I don't know exactly whether or not this guy's going to have anything speedy come out of this ever, especially if it turns out it embarrasses the department. I don't know, but there's a likelihood. Like I said, nothing is off limits in this investigation, and I think they walked into this. Into this looking worse than they did come. In other words, they walked into this.
Well, we're not looking at a firing anymore. We're talking about a jail sentence.
Yeah, exactly. Listen,
that's
if
my
indeed it lends itself to that, but I'm hoping that the internal affairs, or I'm sorry, the Inspector General. The Inspector General's investigation, I hope that actually gleans something. Thank you, George. Let's get to Matt in Bristol.
Gotta go.
Oh, we do? Oh, yeah. Darn it. I didn't realize the time. All right, let's take a break. We'll take a break. We'll come back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on
Mark from West Hartford, he dropped off.
Okay.
80.
This summer, take a trip down memory lane with me and hear from the legends of baseball. I'm Brett Boone from the Brett Boone Podcast. Every week I have a conversation with one of baseball's greats to talk about the glory days and reflect on today's game. Randy Johnson, Pete Rose, Deion Sanders, Jay Buhner, Albert Bell, and Goose Gossage, they've all shared their wisdom with stories of their playing days. To hear who's next, follow and listen to the Brett Boone Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. Tom Shattuck here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? I know I am. What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing? It's about your weight. Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made in your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Wait. Skechers put the S in comfort?
Yes, comfort you have to feel to believe. Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Let me try. Okay, I'm just stepping in and... Oh, wow. Skechers put the S in comfort.
Duh. We told you.
Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Getting quality positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle.
Got it.
Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
A little bit of ether there for you. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080, WTIC. Ken, sorry about that if you couldn't hear us. I'm trying to keep the volume up for you. To the phones we go. Let me go to, is Matt still in Bristol? Matt's in Bristol. Hello, Matt. You're on with Reese on the Radio. Hey, sir.
Hello, Mr. Dr. Reverend Prognosticator Hopkins.
I deserve that title, Matt. I've earned it.
You have, but I think I've been blowing your head up too much.
Have you been?
With all my compliments. So I'm going to move off of you and go to a compliment for someone else.
Okay.
Because I think your head's getting too big.
Okay.
Joe from Simsbury yesterday.
Yes.
Well, he's always been a good caller, but damn, I didn't realize that dude is smart.
He is incredible. That's why I call him the voice of reason for one purpose. When that guy comes on, I know that he's going to not just set the record straight, but he does it with ease, calm, and sort of practicality that a lot of callers don't.
He does. When he was talking about shorting stocks and then tying it back into other times in history where that happened,
right?
I'm like, wow, I'm dumb. Like this, I thought I was smart, but
no,
I'm
Joe.
not.
Joe is just a creature. He's a creature of this, of not only politics, but pop culture and sort of the like. And like he studies this, and he's very much invested and involved. That's why I love his calls. He is no holds barred when it comes to just streamlining it in a way that's just, it sounds like the guy's paying attention, and he really is. He really is paying attention.
Yeah, and he gets dumb guys like me. Now I understand what's going on. So I do appreciate that.
I give it to him because he does make it right. He makes my job better. He makes it easier.
Yeah, and the only other thing I was calling about is I already kind of thought that it was almost divine intervention when that bullet missed Trump. But after what you just played about the other guy taking those shots, being 15 out of 16, that makes me believe it even more. Like, I mean, the chances of that guy missing, and by that much from that range, is just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
I like I said, I watched that yesterday. I played it on my podcast for the first time yesterday. When I saw that, in my head, I'm saying to myself, like, I don't believe that there are any coincidences. And when I saw that and heard that coming from Pat Fallon, the rep from Texas, when I heard that, having had a shot, he owns an AR-15, hasn't taken a shot in 6 years, on the fly takes 16 shots from the same distance, the same time of day with a target and hits 15 out of 16 kill shots, not just hitting the target, kill shots, and does that. And the kid actually had, I mean, he wasn't a great shot, but he had formal training in the art of shooting, and obviously regularly took shooting practice. That for him to take, I think the number rounded out to about 7 or 8 shots that he got off, and to still miss the president either suggests that this kid is awful, or maybe Pat Fallon is a better shot than he thinks. You know what I mean? It's like, it's got to be one or the other.
Can I say one more thing
Sure.
I hang up?
Yeah.
Is everyone still has to remember, thank God Trump didn't get shot, but someone did, and someone died.
Yeah.
So if there was something that happened where they let this happen, people have to be held responsible, because Trump did not die, but
Someone
else
did.
and other people got severely hurt.
Yeah.
So we can't lose track of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's going to be Donald Trump's focus. And I saw his Jesse Waters interview yesterday, and he says there has to be an investigation. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Good afternoon, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of I-91, you got delays from 34 down to 32 A and B. Looks like a problem on the right shoulder as you move down between exit 33 and 32A and B. Northbound side of I-91, that's moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. If you're on the westbound side of 84, you're going to see delays 56 Governor Street. And it stays tight pretty much right out to 46 Sisson Avenue. 84 eastbound, you're slowing about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue downtown. If you're traveling 291 384, that looks good too. Eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound, a little tight at the Aragodi Bridge in Middletown. Downtown Waterbury, just a little slow westbound 84 between 22 and 18. 84 eastbound in Danbury, delays from exit 7 up to exit 9 in Newtown. Traveling into New Haven, 95 southbound, delays 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
WTIC weather.
Warm, humid air from the southeastern states is being pumped directly into our area, and this trend will continue over the next couple of days and nights. The rest of today, mostly cloudy and humid, with a couple of showers. The high is 78 to 82. Humid and rather cloudy tonight with a couple of showers, and in some areas a thunderstorm. Tonight's low near 70, and for tomorrow, clouds and a few sunny breaks. Again, humid with a couple of showers and maybe a thunderstorm, especially in the afternoon and at night. High tomorrow 78, low tomorrow night once again around 70. And more of the same on Thursday. Warm and humid, clouds and occasional slight high 84. As a cold front approaches the area, we expect a couple of showers and thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and evening. Any storm can bring flooding, downpours, and localized damage and wind gusts. Later Thursday night, it'll dry out, and skies will clear with the low of 65. Much nicer weather on Friday, partly sunny, lower humidity, and a high temperature of 84. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
4 o'clock, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. In Meriden, police are investigating a fatal shooting. The incident, they say, was the result of a dispute last night between a woman who was killed and another person. Detectives responded to a report of shots fired around 10 last evening on State Street. The victim pronounced dead at the scene. The person's name has not been released. Police activity in the area of West Main Street, Colony, and Grove Streets all tied to this investigation.
All right, guys, I'm going to make sure that volume goes up.
Vice
on
President
the phone
Harris
call.
formally
Thank
kicked
you
off
for
her
telling me that.
campaign as the de facto Democratic presidential nominee with an appearance today in Wisconsin.
She's not only running on her personal record, she actually does have a record to run on, too. From her time in the Senate and as vice president. And that is the benefit that, she brings to the ticket, is that she's able to say, I did all of these things with Joe Biden.
PBS's Weijia Jiang. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheetle resigned today amid intense criticism for how the agency handled the attempted assassination of former President Trump 10 days ago. More from correspondent Natalie Brand.
Facing pressure from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheetle resigned her position. In a letter, she said the scrutiny over the last week has been intense and will continue to remain as our operational tempo increases. As your director, I take full responsibility for the security lab.
Ronald Rowe has been named the acting director of the Secret Service. Police in East Haven looking for a bank robbery suspect. This went down around 10:30 this morning at the Citizens Bank branch on Hemingway Avenue. Suspect walked in, passed a teller a note implying he had a weapon, and later took off with an undetermined amount of cash. There were no injuries. Police say their suspect is a white or Hispanic male, gray beard. He was clad in a He was clad in gray and black fleece pants, light shoes, and a ball cap. Popular park in Meriden has recently become the target of vandals. Now the city is shutting off the lights at night at Washington Park in hopes of deterring the troublemakers. City Parks and Rec Director Chris Borden stresses the majority of visitors use the park responsibly. However, recently, Borden says they've seen graffiti, trash, even attempts to break windows at department headquarters.
So I would think, like, most other departments throughout the state, the vast majority of the time we come across these situations and we just clean up after it and don't say anything and kind of go about our day. But I think every once in a while, a certain combination of things happen to come together, and it just reaches a tipping point.
Borden says the city's invested about $500,000 in Washington Park, including the addition of new basketball and pickleball courts. State economic officials and Governor Lamont today discussed their recent trip to Germany. It was billed as an economic development mission in order to meet with companies that have an existing business relationship and feel out others that may have interest down the road. Lamont says they discussed tariffs and trade wars.
They do say with tariffs, maybe if we locate here in the United States, we can mitigate some of that risk. More broadly, Germany worries about a trade war and what that does to the economics of both Europe and the United States.
Economic and Community Development Commissioner Dan O'Keefe says they met with about 30 companies during their stay. Closing bell reports sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow down 57 points, NASDAQ down 10, S&P down 8 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Paid for by G.
1 minute. This is an important message for anyone who's on Medicaid and needs home care. Did you know that a family member, close friend, or even a neighbor can get paid to be your caregiver in the comfort of your own home? That's right. If you're on Medicaid, your child, grandchild, friend, or someone else you know and trust can be paid per hour to be your caregiver through a Medicaid-funded program. Just call 800-606-4420, and SilverCare will help you hire the loved one you choose to be your caregiver. SilverCare is based right here in Connecticut. As your neighbor, nobody cares more than SilverCare about getting your caregiver paid the best rates on time. If you're on Medicaid, this service is absolutely free for you. Just call 800-606-4420 right now. Get the home care you need from a loved one or known friend, and they can get paid to help you at home. Just call 800-606-4420. Absolutely free to you, and your relative or friend gets paid to be a caregiver. Just call 800-606-4420. 800-606-4420. 800-606-4420.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Never a Freeway fan. Never a Freeway fan. Saw him live in concert, went right to the front booth and asked for my money back.
That's how I felt about Fabulous.
Really? Fabolo?
Yeah, his performances is whack.
Yeah,
Beats is fire, though.
His beats are fire, yeah, but he's just one guy standing on stage. Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Don't forget, 5 o'clock focus. Please call up. I want to get your take on this. Should you be forced to have low-income housing in your community? We've got this rule, this law, I guess it's the only thing you can call it, that now Connecticut has to deal with. Rocky Hill is under the state's 8-30G law. And this, in essence, says that most apartments proposed under the 80-3G in the last few years have been traditionally one-story apartments, and many have just one bedroom. But how am I pronouncing that? Is it Rocamora? Is putting forward something a bit different for the property at 1093 New Britain Avenue. They're proposing the construction of a new multifamily residential community consisting of 25 two-bedroom townhouse-style apartments in 3 buildings. And then there's another one in Avon, which is an apartment structure, 64 units inside, and it's completely attached to government, which more than likely means that HUD, Housing and Urban Development, is involved, which of course means Section 8 housing. And the truth of this is, no matter how you slice it, it's going to affect property value, whether you like it or not, folks. It's a tough thing to have to say because, again, it seems like you're being discriminating. Well, I'm here to tell you, so what? I just don't care. I don't care that it's discriminating. People work really, really hard to move into certain communities. It's a reward even, but not only that, you have to pay for that. You know, HOA fees. You have to maintain a certain integrity in the community. It's got to be beautiful. You got to keep it beautiful. You're invested. Your hard-earned money is going to that. You put the sweat equity into making sure that that community looks as beautiful as it does. And forget about the hard work. Now somebody else can just come in and just, why? And for the reason of, we think that everyone should be able to fulfill this dream. It's not built for everybody. This is that participation trophy on steroid stuff I keep talking about. Jesus. Does everybody get an Audi to drive too? To park in the community? Speaking of Audis, let's go to the BPS Traffic Center. Mark Christopher.
I have the low-end Audi. I have a Volkswagen. So
hey, that's right.
There. I'm halfway there, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I've got a low-end Lexus. It's called the Nissan.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Very good. Very good. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91, you got delays 34 down to 32 A and B. Northbound 91 moves well, Cromwell through downtown up into Winter. Westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney Street. If you're 84 eastbound, delays about a half mile before exit 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's moving well, Glastonbury and Marlboro. 9 northbound, you got slow traffic, Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 southbound, slowing Cromwell, Middletown line to the Aragoni. If you're heading toward Waterbury, that looks good, 84 and 8. Westbound 84 Waterbury, just a little slow by 25A. 84 eastbound in Danbury, you got some tight traffic as you move between exit 3 and exit 8 in Danbury. And if you're traveling into New Haven right now, southbound 95 slows 46 to 44, south 91 tight 3 in toward the 95 interchange. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Mostly cloudy and humid the rest of this afternoon with a stray shower. Most of the showers we had seen earlier have dissipated. Today's high 78 to 82. Humid mostly cloudy tonight with a couple of showers. There could also be a thunderstorm later at night. With the low of 70, clouds, limited sun tomorrow will stay humid. A couple of showers and thunderstorms, particularly in the afternoon and at night. High 78, low 70, and more the same on Thursday. Variably cloudy, warm and sticky with a couple of showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening on Thursday. The high of 84. It's now 74 in Torrington, 75 in Wallingford, and 76 degrees in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, I'm Deb. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
I'm Jan, Deb's sister. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
Okay, but I said it first.
It's more than food. It's my Big Y Rewards.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Getting quality employees to your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It is your girl, Cammie.
And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
Trump did warn us that the suburbs were going away. And that's because the Obama-Biden administration took a lot of effort in doing it. It started in Westchester County, believe it or not, back in 2010. Anyway, it's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. We got Chris in Wethersfield still on the line. Chris.
Yes.
Hey, Chris, you're there.
Hey,
What's going on, buddy?
Hey,
What's
Reese.
going on, sir?
How are you? Thank you for taking my call. I love the show.
Thank
love
you.
our listeners. And it's just awesome. Hey, I got one funny thing, then a comment. I loved watching. I watched MGT say today or last night, if you think the price of gasoline is high now, wait till you're all in electric vehicles.
Right.
I thought that was great.
That's a great line.
That's the caliber. That's the caliber of people we have running our country.
That's
okay?
right.
All right. So listening to, I think it was George who called and said that this is all set up by the Democrats to take out Donald Trump.
Right.
So yep, he's actually right, because you know what? I could see Biden calling up some 20-year-old kid, registered Republican. So Biden must know that the father owns an AR-15, a gun that they've been trying to outlaw since Sandy Hook. Okay, how stupid! How stupid!
Listen, I said this. Look, I tried to be completely as respectful as I possibly could. There was
don't be.
No, hear me out, Chris. But hear me out. I said this days after the assassination attempt, that there's this meme that went out where the woman is a cartoon of a woman screaming at the news media saying this was staged, and behind her in the next picture is Alex Jones holding a lawsuit going, I'd be careful if I were you.
Well, yeah.
So
but you see where this goes, though.
Yes.
This just adds to the whole conspiracy BS crap.
Yeah.
That I hear from half of my Republican friends,
right,
who can't come to the reality that this psycho kid, okay, who had Biden, Trump, and somebody from the UK, on his sites, on their schedule.
Right.
So he had Biden on his. Now, if Biden had come on that day, it would have been Biden getting shot at.
Right.
So
There's
when
a
you
strong
tell me-
likelihood. Sure.
Right. So when you're telling me that Joe Biden and the Democrats called this crazy kid up, who couldn't take a shot, who couldn't pass muster in a shooting class in
That's
high
right.
school.
And again,
so
but
they're
that
going to have him be the sharpshooter.
But
it's ridiculous.
Chris, but hold on,
That comes out of the mouth.
hold on for a second, Chris. Now hear me out. I think, and I think I made this clear, and I think I made a fair point. What I was suggesting was it doesn't matter what the true scenario or what the true motives of this young man was. It doesn't matter. However, with that being said, and that we're all being reasonable, and I think you and I are being reasonable here. There's no way that we could come up this conclusion. We need to really, really tone it back, like pull it back a little bit. However, no one in the administration, for that matter, the Department of Homeland Security with Alejandro Mayorkas, the FBI, or the Secret Service at the helm of Kimberly Cheadle has given anybody any reason to stop walking to the cliff and screaming all types of stark raving mad lunacy about conspiracy theory, because they almost lend to it with the obfuscate. I hate that word. With not answering every question that's being asked. Making statements in knee-jerk ways, saying in one breath, we didn't deny any security for the Trump administration, to only wait 5 minutes later to say, oh, we did. So they almost lend to people coming to these vast conclusions about what took place. They're almost lending to controversy.
Yeah, but can't you? Okay, so there was so the Democrats were crying the blues because they weren't getting any reports out of Donald Trump's injuries from the shooting.
That's correct.
They were losing their brains over that.
Sure
How come
was.
we haven't heard anything? How come we haven't heard anything? So it's the same thing.
On both sides. You're 100% right.
Why are you going to give up this information? Why? So you can do something stupid with it and make some kind of, you know what? Like you said, let the time go. Let the time go. Let the facts be the facts.
Right.
But I have no patience for the energy that it must take for people to accept their own theories on this. It's mind-boggling to me. There's not enough energy in my body to think about having our president or somebody call up this dude and set him up and call up the local people and say, you know what, dude, you're not. Don't let that don't go over next to that building. And if you see some kid in camouflage with a YouTube T-shirt on, praising the gun channel, just let him go. Just let him climb up there, okay? And you know what? It's the Secret Service's fault. And I'm glad that lady resigned today. It's her fault. If the company crashes, it's the CEO's fault.
Well, not the
workers.
Let me say this, Chris, and I'll let you go with this question if you can answer it for me.
Sure.
It is fair to say, and that's the reason why I said yesterday she was going to resign. She couldn't last a day. But I think that it's fair to say that because of conspiracy theories and because that, the lack of transparency for that matter, that so many things lends itself to believing that people can draw their own conclusions. And I think the optics for Kim Cheadle made her look like, because she couldn't answer these questions, because she was not transparent, because she had to be subpoenaed in order to appear before Congress yesterday, that all of that weight only lended to people thinking she's hiding something, she must be a part of it. And so that forced her to resign. Is that a fair assessment of why
I understand your point. But you know what? I mean, there has to be a check valve in your brain that says, you know what? Does this make sense to me?
Right.
Does this make sense? Do you think the Son of God, the only son born of the Virgin Mary, came to Pennsylvania and turned Trump's head just in time?
Oh, no, come on. Don't make no, hold on. Now
come on, this is what you guys are saying.
Wait.
This is a divine
What I'm saying
intervention.
I don't know about those people who are saying that. What I'm saying is
your callers are saying that.
No, some people,
Reese, I'm just trying to call out your callers.
Some people are saying that, but look, I don't think that when there's a fine line from the way that you're describing it, from the way people are experiencing it. And what I'm saying to you here is that, look, people do believe that when something like this happens and someone is spared, their life is spared, many people turn to the idea and the belief and I guess the presence of God, and they say that, that is just something like that to happen within a split second to where his life was spared. Some people turn to God because, again, that is just a reason for them. It's coincidence.
Did God shoot the other people? Did God shoot the other people?
No. That's not.
I'm going to keep Trump alive.
Chris, that's not.
50-year-old.
It doesn't mean that. Look, it's not all of one and less of nothing. It's just it's one of those things where, look, it's the way that people reason. And like I said, I don't want to crap on the way that people reason about this. They believe in God. That's the way they look at it. And it's not about they saw Donald Trump as some sanctified deity to the Lord himself and said, I must save him. It's not that.
People think that.
That's true. That's true. But like I said, I'm not here. I'm not here to question people's belief systems. That's not what
I got it. It's just weird. Look, you go to a Trump rally, you can see a Trump flag with Donald Trump's head on Sylvester Stallone's body, holding an M16 with him riding like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Chris, what did you miss? Wait. Did you miss the 2008 campaign? The kids were singing, Barack Hussein Obama. It was deification on steroids in 2008, wasn't it?
Listen, I tend to try to filter because I believe both sides are feeding you lies. I believe the Democrats and the Republicans are so full of their own crud that they can't even get it out of their way. Donald Trump was on the radio the other day saying that the Democrats owe us money because now we have to start all over. I'm like, you know what, dude? You don't have to start anywhere. If your platform is that strong, and
it should win on its own.
Dedicated, you don't have to start over.
I'm not going to lie, Chris. I said this. Listen, I said this before. People laughed at me. I said Donald Trump's campaign doesn't need another dime. Every time he goes to
No.
court, every time he goes to court, every time he gets indicted, every time he gets convicted, his poll numbers go up. I wouldn't spend another dime on an ad. I wouldn't spend another dime because they're doing the campaigning for him. You know what I mean? It's just like 2016 all over again. He got $1 billion worth of free advertising from the news media. He did. He got $1 billion worth of free advertising from the news media. He didn't have to spend a dime. And in fact,
that's right. He'll become president just because Joe Biden decided, you know what, I can't do it anymore.
Exactly.
And you know what? I'm glad. I'm totally glad because we need a Republican president. I'm just sorry,
Agreed. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Rob.
Much
Thanks, Reese. I appreciate it.
Not a problem, Chris. I think you were well worth it, friend. Let's go to Joe in New Hampshire. Joe, thank you for waiting, sir. That was just a great call. So thank you for waiting.
Hello, Reverend. I had to call you. Did you hear first of all, that letter carrier out in Chicago that got murdered Friday doing her route? Have you looked into that?
Wife is looking
further?
for that. Not only is my wife working on that, we have family in Chicago, and a former police officer who works at the university is actually getting me more information on that.
Good. Okay. Number two, I want to get to the divine intervention concerning Donald Trump with a conversation I had with Roger Stone in 2016 when, Roger Stone was on his way to being indicted and being a Trump supporter, all that. The second thing I wanted to ask you, though, that broke this today, whistleblowers from the Secret Service about the abdication of that building. There was supposed to be an agent assigned there, and he was nowhere to be found when everything happened. Have you heard about that whistleblower?
Sure. Yeah, the whistleblower is saying that the Secret Service agent that was supposed to guard that building decided not to and went to another station.
Okay. That could develop into something down the road. I just want to make it clear. I'm an independent. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a religious fanatic.
Do you know what? I don't wish, with all due respect, Joe, let me say this, right? This is something I never seem to understand, and forgive me, and I don't mean any to sort of sound like I'm attacking you. This has nothing to do with you. I wish people would not preface their political leanings, especially with me, and let me tell you why. I don't care whether or not you're a Democrat, independent, or even a Republican or a conservative. I don't care. The only thing I care about is that there is reason and accountability in how you vote or how you see the world. That's the only thing I care about. Most people always have to tell me, it's like, well, I'm not a Democrat, I'm an independent. And the first thing I say to myself is, you almost sound like you're telling me I'm not a racist. Because, if you're not something, just be who you are and we'll recognize what you are and what you aren't. If you have to preface who you are before I get to know you, it's about, and again, this is not an attack on you. I'm just saying, if you have to preface who you're not to an individual, that means you're either trying to fool me or someone thinks you're already that, or they may be on to you. So I always think it's important to just say, look, I don't care what your political leanings are. Tim from Hamden calls up all the time. I know exactly what his leanings are. But when I talk to him, I don't talk to him like he's a liberal. I talk to him like, where's the reason, the accountability, and where it makes sense of it all. If it doesn't make sense, I'm going to attack that. And if it does, I'm going to agree. So you don't have to vote for a Democrat. You don't have to vote for a Republican. You don't have to like either side. In fact, you can hate them both. But most people in our society have decided that they are going to put on a jersey or at least say that they represent a team. Only team I want people to at least accept that they are a part of is the one that involves using your brain in order for you to be there. Because I'll admit, Republicans don't always use their brain. Sometimes they are knee-jerk as well as anybody else. I want everybody to use their brains, but I just wanted to interject that. But go ahead. I'll let you go before I take a break. What was your last comment, Joe?
Well, the Roger Stone conversation I had, I called, Trump was running in 2016. Roger Stone was in a lot of trouble. And he was a guest on Coast to Coast with George Norrie, which WTIC carries every night at 1 a.m. Well. So you call in around 2, before they say call in, you might get through, which I did, and I got through. So I'm on hold for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. And George Norrie says, let's take Joe from New Hampshire. And I said, Mr. Stone, I'm honored to talk to you. I said, you've been an advisor to Donald Trump for decades. I said, don't you think that a man that has everything in the world, billionaire, et cetera, and he decides to do this, don't you think he had a calling to do this? Like, why does a person become a priest or a minister or a rabbi? They have a calling, a religious calling, spiritual calling. Do you think that's why? I didn't say I thought it was.
Yeah, you
I
just
said,
asked.
Do you think that's why Donald Trump may have decided to do this and go through all this hell?
What was his
We didn't
answer,
even know
real
it was
quick?
about
What
to
was it?
happen.
What was his answer, real quick?
So Roger Stone gave me the helicopter story from 1989. Roger Stone was his advisor. He arrived at Trump Tower late in the day one day. He goes into the lobby. He says, I'm here to see Donald with some advice. And Roger Stone tells the story much better than me. And the lobby says,
I hope a lot
think he's
faster,
already
too,
done
because I got to go to a break. Stay on the line. You know what? Stay there, Joe. Stay there for me, and I'm going to get the end of that story when we return. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading into Hartford right now, overall, a pretty good ride. If you're on the eastbound side of 84, you're going to see some slow traffic as you move up on exit 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Westbound 84 tight approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney. Southbound 91, you've got slow traffic from exit 33 Jennings Road down to 32 A&B. Good ride northbound 91 Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 384 looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury to Marlboro. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. If you are traveling into Waterbury, 84 and Route 8 moving well through downtown Waterbury. 84 eastbound locked up New York Connecticut line out to between exit 8 and 9 on the Danbury Newtown line. An accident reported there. South 91 into New Haven slowing 3 and toward the 95 interchange. 95 southbound delays 48 down to exit 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
WTIC weather.
Warm, humid air from the southeastern states is being pumped directly into our area, and this trend will continue over the next couple of days and nights. For the rest of today, mostly cloudy and humid, with a couple of showers. High is 78 to 82. Humid and rather cloudy tonight with a couple of showers, and in some areas a thunderstorm. Tonight's low near 70, and for tomorrow, clouds and a few sunny breaks. Again, humid with a couple of showers and maybe a thunderstorm, especially in the afternoon and at night. High tomorrow 78, low tomorrow night once again around 70. And more of the same on Thursday. Warm and humid. Clouds and occasional sun, high 84. As a cold front approaches the area, we expect a couple of showers and thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and evening. Any storm can bring flooding, downpours, and localized damaging wind gusts. Later Thursday night, it'll dry out and skies will clear with the low of 65. Much nicer weather on Friday, partly sunny, lower humidity, and a high temperature of 84. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The investigation continues into a fatal shooting Monday night in Meriden. Call came in around 10 to a section of State Street. A woman was dead on scene. Police say she was involved in a dispute with another individual. Also in Meriden, the city is turning out the lights at Washington Park at night for at least the next week. Parks and Rec officials say they hope it's a deterrent to those who recently vandalized and scrawled graffiti at the park. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez will resign his seat August 20th. 70-year-old convicted this summer of taking bribes and being a foreign agent for Saudi Arabia. The state's governor will select a person to fill the remainder of Menendez's term. In an email to staff today, Kimberly Cheadle announced her resignation as director of the Secret Service amid outcry over the botched security measures taken before the assassination attempt on former President Trump. President Biden's back at the White House after a week-long battle with COVID. He is expected to address the nation on Wednesday, his first address since leaving the presidential race last weekend. Vice President Harris was in Wisconsin today. It was her first campaign stop since she was backed as the candidate to succeed Biden for the Democrats. Markets down on Wall Street today. Dow finished off 57 points to 40,358. NASDAQ down 10. S&P down 8 points. Red Sox continue their series in Colorado against the Rockies tonight. 7:40 the pregame here on TIC. Game 1 of the Subway Series at the stadium between the Mets and the Yankees. And in the Eastern League, Harrisburg takes on the Yard Goats at Duncan Park. 7:10 on the Odyssey app. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, but here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill. Tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit
In 10.
.org for free resources
All right,
to help you customize your
I'm
action
here.
plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We still have Joe on the line. He's finishing the Roger Stone story. So again, just to follow up, you had Roger Stone on the line, and you were asking him exactly what was it that led to Donald Trump to decide to run for president of the United States? Was it divine intervention? Was there something else involved? Go on.
Yeah, so Roger Stone being a close advisor to him, I guess in the late 70s, and this was around 88 or 89. And Roger Stone says, well, Joe, let me tell you my own personal story to answer your inquiry. He says, and everyone can come to their own conclusion. He said, I was arriving at the Trump Tower late in the day to see Donald with some advice. He was in the casino business down in Atlantic City, and I had some advice. We're going to go over some things. And he said, I got in the lobby, and I said, Roger, they knew him. And they said, I think you may have just missed him. He may have just gotten on his helicopter for Atlantic City, but let me call up and see if he's still there. So they called up. And Donald Trump was, according to Roger Stone, he was literally on the helipad, about to get on the helicopter, and he took the call, and he said to Roger, you know what, Roger, I can go later. Why don't you stay for dinner? And Roger says, oh, no, Donald, go ahead. I can come back tomorrow. No, he says, I'm going to send the helicopter off and come on down, and you'll have dinner with me, and we can talk business. So he altered his plan at the last second. And he came down, they had dinner, and during the dinner, they got the bad news. The helicopter that took off with the state trooper, the pilot, I think there were 3 people on the copter, had mechanical problems, and it crashed. They all died.
Wow.
And that's the story Roger Stone told me. He says, so Joe, he says, I don't know. To me, I could make an argument. He says, but that actually happened back around 1989. And this was in 2016. He's telling me the story on the phone.
I have heard
and
that
It took
story.
him about 4 minutes to tell me. It was, he didn't tell me in 2 minutes.
Yeah. I hear you.
Details I left out.
No, I totally listen. Again, that's why I said to Christopher, I don't make any bones about what people, see. Look, I've had the luck. I've had the luck that, has always astonished me. And I've always looked to it took me a while to look to my higher power as a reason why, things have happened in my life. I've been incredibly fortunate as a young man going through life. And, I remember looking at my life for so many years at all of the negative things that have happened in my life instead of looking at the positive. And now that I look at the positive, I've had the good fortune to have what I can only see as a charmed life. And there's a great saying that somebody used to say to me in the rooms when I say, hey, how you doing? His response has always been better than I deserve. Because if I'd gotten what I deserved, I wouldn't be living the life that I'm in now. And
that's an excellent point.
Yeah,
excellent point.
and I totally, I believe in that. I totally do believe in that idea.
Anyone who follows, I'm not religious, but over the years of my life, Scripture, didn't Jesus pick sinners and people of ill repute to kind of get them to do his good work going forward?
Washed their feet, I might add. Wash their feet, even. And again, like I said, I don't frown on people's faith. I just don't. I'm never going to be that guy. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you sticking around for the story.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you, sir. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're making your way into downtown Hartford right now, look for slow traffic on the southbound side of 91 from 33 down to 32 A and B. Another bump down by exit 28. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 84 westbound delays approaching the Boak Bridge out to 47 Sigourney Street. 84 eastbound a little tight, 46 up into the tunnel. 291, 384, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 9 southbound delays Cromwell Middletown line to the Aragoni in Middletown. If you are traveling through Waterbury, that looks good. 84 and 8. 84 eastbound in Danbury tied up from 3 out to exit 7 in Danbury, and another slowdown again, 84 eastbound by exit 11 in Newtown. South 95 is slowing 46 down to 44. Also, some slow traffic now on the Parkway. On the southbound side of the Parkway, you're going to see some slow traffic as you move in toward the Hamden area. Looks like we have an accident in the area of exit 63 in North Haven, so look for delays pushing back toward exit 64 behind that in Wallingford. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Mostly cloudy and humid the remainder of today. A little more than a straight shower. High is 78 to 82. Humid tonight. Clouds and a couple of showers. Could be a late night thunderstorm. Low 70. Couple of showers and thunderstorms in the area tomorrow. Mostly the afternoon and at night. Still quite humid. High tomorrow 78. Low tomorrow night 70. And more of the same on Thursday. Odds of a few sunny breaks, warm but muggy, high 84. Expect another round of showers and thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and evening. Any storm during that time can be heavy and gusty. Right now it is 74 in Manchester, it's 75 in West Hartford, 76 degrees in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Here at Columbia Implant Center, we offer leading-edge technology that allows our patients to have their procedures done in one day, 7 days a week.
I scheduled my treatment on a Sunday, and I'll be back to work on Monday.
The thought of dentures at my age, that was the last thing I wanted. But I didn't want the pain anymore either.
Columbia Implant Center eased my mind. They feel like my own teeth.
Our digital dental lab crafts your smile while you wait. It provides efficient and dynamic care that takes less time away from the things that matter to you most.
Sports became a bigger part of WTIC in the 1950s. In the early years, the focus was on coverage of the Hartford boxing scene, as well as local football rivalries and annual coverage of the Indy 500. In 1952, we started covering what was then the Insurance City Open, and 72 years later, we are still covering the tournament, which we now know as the Travelers Championship. In 57, we started regularly broadcasting the Boston Red Sox baseball team, and as you also know, the games are still heard right here. Also in 57, George Ehrlich, who was then considered the best play-by-play announcer in all of New England, joined the sports staff here, and with Floyd Richards brought UConn basketball and football to listeners. In 1973, WTIC became the radio home of the Hartford Whalers and broadcast the games until the team left Hartford in 1997. Sandy Terenzi and the Livian team at Keller Williams is proud to sponsor this moment in WTIC history. The real estate team offers extensive services, support, and expertise. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, call them at 860-855-SOLD.
As a roofer, I'm so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
When you haven't found love,
It can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee.
Hey, find out if
your
Mark
reading
is
is
calling about
life-changing,
the
it's
Avon
free.
thing. If
And
not, tell him
new
to push back
customers
till
receive
5.
20 minutes.
He left already.
Oh, okay.
Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
It is your girl Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
Yeah, I think I know this. And the more I listen to it, it sounds like straight trash.
This the good stuff, man.
No, it's not. This is not the good stuff. This
The
is
funk. This that funk.
Now, this is the castor oil of music. This is
It's that funk, man.
No,
Get your body moving.
I don't know what Roland is talking about. Roland has a vast, weird array of musical sounds that he enjoys. This is one of them, and that right there was ear garbage.
That was great.
It's great bumper music just because I get to rag on it. Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080.
A lot of my music is based on seeing booty shake. So
Oh, goodness gracious. What are you the Players Club kind of guy? Anyway, telephone number 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-WTIC. Roland is one of my favorite people to be on the air with. He's just absolutely phenomenal. I don't know why, but he gets me without getting me, which makes it amazing for me when I'm here on the air. I think I work great with all producers, all guys at the helm, because I respect what they do. And they've got to have an ear for what we do, and I've got to have an ear for what he's doing. So I totally respect that. Don't forget, 5 o'clock hour to 5 o'clock focus. We're going to talk about this story coming out of Avon and other places in the Connecticut area. Is it or should it be allowed for low-income housing to be in your community? Avon is approving a New York developer's 4-story affordable housing community. And again, I've been to Avon. I stayed in Avon for Christmas when it was bitterly cold. It was really cold. And it was the first time in a long time I was ever in a community that in Connecticut has always sort of had that. Christmas in Connecticut is unlike anything you've ever experienced. And I'm saying this for the people on the West Coast who listen to the show on ReeseOnTheRadio.com. If you've never been to Connecticut, Connecticut is a place where if you've seen a Hallmark movie, it's in Connecticut. It's got that theme, small little town. They've got a gazebo in the center of town. There's a bookstore that miraculously, even though they have the fewest amount of customers, they can still afford to be open. You know, they've got a coffee shop, maybe a diner. Everybody in the town knows one another. It's right out of the show, The Gilmore Girls. I'm not saying that I watched that show. I'm just saying that I know the show. That's all I'm saying. Big fan of Lorelai, by the way. Now, some of those towns, like, look, you know those communities. Now, it may seem cruel to suggest, it's like, what, you don't want everybody to have that experience? It's got to be earned. It's got to be earned. And if you did get it through some sort of legacy, you at least through that legacy, you understand the importance of keeping the integrity of that community. So we're going to take your phone calls. Should you be able to fight back? And should bureaucrats be able to tell you, hey, I'm sorry, we're going to just make this available to anybody. We're going to turn your town into Section 8 housing. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But I want to talk about this. The undecided voter in this election. I think this term is bogus, but people tell me that they're real. There's no way that they're real. It just isn't. Because if you listen to these people, it sounds like their mind is made up. And so I saw this woman, her name is Kimberly Burrell, who sounds like a Biden voter. But for some odd reason, is screaming her grievances, but will not name the person responsible. You'll get what I'm talking about when you hear it. Listen closely. Kimberly Burrell, undecided voter, Philadelphia.
Right now, inflation. So I'm monitoring who's talking the most about inflation. Re-entry. I would like to see everyone who is a criminal with federal charges still be able to vote. If we can have a criminal for president, we need to allow some voting rights back that were taken illegally in the first place.
Now, she's an undecided voter, referring to one of the candidates as a criminal. You believe her? Do you believe her? That she's undecided? Again, nonsense. This is a black woman. Not that that's important. But I want you to give you the full scope, full disclosure. But she's calling one of the candidates a criminal. And she believes that, well, if a criminal could be president of the United States, we need to give voting rights back to people who are felons, who had their voting rights taken back illegally. Okay, I don't know what that's about, but she didn't get in depth. She goes on. Her biggest concern, inflation.
How hard has inflation hit you?
It hit me hard. It's hitting me hard.
What do you blame for it?
I blame the federal government at this point. If a working class mom who works as a paralegal cannot buy a $2 bell pepper because it's now $5, imagine a mother living on food stamps.
Who's in charge, lady? Who's in charge? The federal government? When you were asked about that, with the federal government? Like the whole thing? The Department of the Interior? The Secretary of State? The Board of Education? What do you mean the federal government? How vague could you be? So she calls one candidate a criminal and says the federal government is responsible for inflation. She doesn't even name the individual who's the head of said federal government. This person is supposed to be coming off as an undecided. I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to vote for the criminal or the guy who may be in charge of the federal government that's responsible for inflation. This is MSNBC. Grabbing all of these voters talking about, and everything that they're talking about is like the most insane. What? Just listen again.
Imagine a mother who's making minimum wage trying to feed children. They're killing us without killing us.
Who are they? Who are they? Could it be the occupier of the Oval Office, perhaps? Who are they? Who is this ominous threat?
If you understand that, they're killing us without telling us they're killing us.
Whom?
They're hurting people in ways that they can't help themselves.
Is it the criminal doing this? Is the criminal doing this? She won't name names. Undecided. Come on, man.
It's either feed my child or how about feed my children and I don't.
How about stop lying? How about be honest? How about knock it off? You're voting for Joe Biden. Well, in this case, you're voting for Kamala Harris. We know. We know. Your children ain't going to eat for another 4 years. If she wins, you're going to starve to death waiting for that check to come by. They talked to about a good 6 of them in this little back and forth. About 6 of them. And they were talking about things like gun control, undecided? Gun control? And by the way, do you know, this is the part that baffles the hell out of me. Try this on for size. These black voters in Philadelphia said that gun control was going to, in some way, stop the violent killings in their Philadelphia towns. That it is gun control, universal background checks, and an assault weapons ban was going to stop the killing in West Philadelphia. Who believes these people are undecided? How are these people, if this is your point of view politically, just, what about that is undecided? Like, how do you feel about abortion rights? How do you feel about abortion rights? Again, and what I was saying to Joe earlier about that is these people who, and not that he was doing this, but you hear that all the time. I ain't a Democrat. I'm independent. And then you ask them down the line, how do you feel about guns? Well, there should be gun control. Okay. How do you feel about abortion? Woman has the right to choose. Okay, sir, no offense, but you say that you're not a Democrat, but you sound an awful lot like one. I ain't no Democrat. Don't be calling me that. I have independent views. What's your independent view? I think we should raise taxes. Sir, thank you. We appreciate your time. Go Kamala. These people are laughable. These people are laughable. Please stop trying. It just doesn't make sense. It's all ridiculous. I'm an independent. I'm undecided. Hey, Doc in Howington is on the line. What's going on, Doc? It's been a long time.
Well, we have rhinos. No, we have eudinos. Undecided in name only.
Exactly. Dinos and rhinos. I love it.
You're talking about the low-income housing.
Yeah.
Salisbury is a very affluent town.
Right.
The grand list is about $1.7 billion for 64 square miles.
Woo! Everybody
wants low-income housing except in their neighborhood.
That's right. Well, it's always, it's the NIMBYs.
Yeah. And a friend of mine is on the committee that tries to do moderate income and low income. And he said, you have these people that go to the meetings. Yeah, we want it. Yeah, we want it. Oh, not there. No.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you what the crazy part is? So a family of four, Connecticut's state median income is $133,000. That's the median income. So these S-30s or 8-30s, 30 Gs, they are going to give apartments to people who make 80% of the median income based upon their group. So if they're a family of three, they have to make about in or around only 80, and then it works its way down. 80% of the median income, and then working its way down to 60% of the income. And here's the crazy part. The unit can never go up in price, at least not a considerable rate, for over 40 years.
That's rent control. Gee.
That's exactly what it is.
Do you understand what the term median means?
Yeah, but the average, I guess what the average salary is of the state. It's not?
No, that would be the mean. The median is there are as many people above that line as below that line.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I always thought, why did I always think that it was the average? That's what I thought median meant, like it was like the middle ground.
No, that's the mean.
Oh, okay.
M-E-A-N.
Okay.
But yeah, it's crazy. I moved out of Salisbury in 2018, which is where I grew up, or got older. I don't know which it was. I couldn't afford to move back there.
Today.
Okay.
And do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's ridiculous. The people that are the volunteer fire department, the volunteer ambulance people, can barely afford to live in Salisbury.
Well, that's not good.
And the same people that are the carpenters and the plumbers, electricians, and lawn maintenance people.
But it makes me ask the question, Doc, if people can't afford to live there, why not move to a place that's affordable? Is a question.
Well, some of these people can't afford to move for one.
That's okay.
That's where there's families that have been there since the iron industry, and they refer to themselves as raggies because their family were the charcoal makers.
Right.
So you've got these people that have their roots are very firmly in the town.
Right. But
and to be.
Yeah, I mean, no, I understand what you're saying because I'm gonna have to get to the BPS traffic center in a second. I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's six in one hand, half a dozen in another, because I kind of feel like people are forcing themselves to live a lifestyle that they cannot sustain, but at the same time can't leave because they're forced to, because they can't move out. I almost feel like, you have to make a choice because either you can, rent or live until you're broke or something else.
But these are people that have been inherited houses.
Right.
The tax rate is ridiculously low. It's about 10 and a quarter or 10 and an eighth.
Well, if that's the case, then, Doc, then I would say then you'd fight your public officials to make sure that it is livable for the people who have earned the right to be there. But I wouldn't change the dynamic of the community to make it low-income housing, because trust me, what always comes with that is crime and poverty and everything else that goes in with it, just a dilapidation of the community in the whole 9 yards. It happens every time. I think you make it sustainable for the people who've lived there, for them to live there, because if anybody should be getting a break, as it were, or clearly with the way that you're describing it, is to get it to the people who have lived there and actually have some sweat equity into the community. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. I'm not going to ask you where you live, Mark, because I know it's probably affluent.
I live in a very middle-class neighborhood in Wethersfield, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I won't ask you. I don't want to get you into politics, but I'll just say, I'll put it to you this way. How many parks do you have nearby?
Parks?
Yeah.
I would say there's like 3 or 4 major parks in Wethersfield. Yeah.
That's a good neighborhood. You should have 3 or 4 major parks. It's a great neighborhood. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no, it's a great little town. And it's very convenient, and I've been here since I've gotten married, so I've been here 18 years. I'm kind of a newbie here. Like, there's like families here that have been here since like the 1600s. So
I'll ask you this. New. This one's easy. Your neighborhood, is it a walk-around neighborhood, or you can only drive in your neighborhood?
No, you can walk around.
Okay, good. That's always a good neighborhood. Walk-around neighborhoods are great.
Oh, absolutely. Like I'm just south of the historic district, so I'll take the boys for a walk, the dogs, and we'll do an hour walk. It's about 3 miles. It's great. It's a great walking
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great walking area.
All right,
hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, Reese, westbound side of 84 delays, approaching the Bulkley Bridge. Looks like an accident by 47 Sigourney Street. Looks like the right lane and the exit-only lane at 47 out. So you want to stay to the left there. 84 eastbound, you've got slow traffic 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Southbound 91 delays 33 to 32. Again, slowing down by exit 28. Northbound 91, good ride. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 through 84 looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound, also in good shape. Glastonbury into Marlboro. 9 northbound, you're slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. If you're traveling 691 westbound, you've got delays from exit 7 up to exit 8B. As you transition to 84 West. Downtown Waterbury looks okay, 84 and 8. 84 eastbound, Danbury tight, New York, Connecticut line out to exit 5. Again, more delays from 9 to 10. 84 eastbound in Newtown. 95 southbound, New Haven slows 46 to 44. And a crash southbound Parkway just south of exit 63 in North Haven has you backed up behind that into Wallingford. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
It's 5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC at 1080 News, WTIC Weather Center forecast. Cloudy, humid for what's left of this afternoon. It'll be cloudy and humid tonight. Chance of some showers, maybe a thunderstorm with a low near 70. Meriden Mayor Kevin Scarpetti is reassuring the public that the city is safe after its first homicide of the year. A woman was shot and killed near Meriden Green Monday night. Police say that shooting was the result of a dispute between people who knew each other, and there's no danger to the public. Scarpetti addressed the issue, saying Meriden Green is open to the public.
You'll see many people walking about and conducting normal business, whether it's getting on and off the train or walking through the park here behind us. However, there is an active and ongoing investigation over just around the corner on West Main Street that we're asking members of the public to stay clear from at this time.
A part of West Main Street remains closed for the police investigation. It was blocked off at Colony Street. No information being released about any possible suspects or the victim's identity. Another card skimming incident, this one in Cromwell. Police there say they went to investigate a report at the Walmart in town that a card skimming device was added to a self-checkout register back on June 29th. Police say the suspects also wanted in connection with other skimming cases across the state, including in Naugatuck, Prospect, and Plainville. Those devices are able to steal credit and debit card information from the respective terminals. Anyone with any information being asked to get in touch with Cromwell PD. Democrats still plan to hold a virtual roll call vote next month to make Vice President Harris the party's official presidential nominee. Political analyst Amy Dacey says delegates will cast their online votes by August 7th.
They could also try and vote on the vice president, or if, the nominee wants more time to kind of put that in place, it could happen at the convention.
Now, the Rules Committee of the Democratic National Convention meets tomorrow to set a specific date for the online roll call vote. President Biden's back at the White House after a COVID convalescence at his home in Delaware. He'll address the nation from the Oval Office tomorrow night. His first address.
Hi, Marianne.
Announced last weekend he'll not seek re-election.
There are all these calls from Republican lawmakers who say, hey, if he can't run for another 4 years, if he's decided to pass the torch, should he be there for another 6 months? And I expect that you'll hear a very strenuous argument from the president tomorrow night about why he is still fit to do the job, in his view, until January of 2025.
CBS News correspondent Nancy Cortez. State economic officials and Governor Lamont discussed their recent trip to Germany in an attempt to enhance existing relationships and foster new ones. Lamont says one factor companies looking to invest in Connecticut is stability in the turbulent political landscape. State Department of Economic and Community Development Commissioner Dan O'Keefe, who also made the trip, says they met with about 3 dozen companies without naming names.
We won't mention specific companies here, but I will tell you the interest was universal. I don't think we had a single company. Genuinely, not a single company say I'm not interested in continuing the conversation.
He says they won't tip off other states who may have interest in the same companies as Connecticut. Lamont says he told his counterparts the proximity of Connecticut between New York City and Boston also works in the state's favor. And Meriden Parks and Rec officials say they're cutting the lights at Washington Park at night for at least the next week. Parks and Rec Director Chris Borden explains why.
Trash, graffiti, tipping over portable toilets. Trying to break into buildings, removing grates and drains, trying to make unsafe situations.
He says they've sunk about $500,000 into improvements for Washington Park. Borden also says the vast majority of visitors use the park responsibly, so they hope the action taken now will lessen the chance of any future problems. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 57 points today. The Nasdaq lost 10. S&P shed 8 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I believe I heard Eric Semmel on
1 minute.
and heard that he was from Tab Computer Systems, and I gave him a call.
That's Bruce Cloder, president of Swiss Cleaners and Uniform Services. He had problems with his computer network.
Our business runs 5 different servers for our different profit centers, and our network was complex to the point where we had different businesses going on in our server room. Tab understood them all and was able to take care of us.
How well has Tab taken care of Swiss Cleaners' computer network?
They have a great service department. Anytime I call, anytime I email, anytime I communicate, they immediately respond appropriately. We've been using them for 14 years, and in our business, we cannot operate without our network being up, and I'm proud to say that thanks to Tab Computer Systems, we've never been down.
Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, no. Jay Dilla. Now that, I don't know where you found that from or an instrumental for that one. But that song's called Peer Pressure off De La Soul's Artificial Intelligence album.
Yeah.
Produced by Jay Dilla. This song featuring Be Real of Cypress Hill. I love this song. Oh, man. I'm not here to tell you not to smoke weed. It's a weird song, but it's really, really good. It's called Peer Pressure by De La Soul. It's a great song. If you like Cypress Hill and you like Be Real, Be Real with De La Soul is a combination of people you never thought you'd ever see together in a song. But check out that song. It doesn't matter. It talks about marijuana, but it's not even the point. It's so lyrically intelligent as a rap record, as a hip hop record. You will love this song. And Be Real is hilarious. And it's just them talking back and forth. I'll give you a scenario of the song. It's Pasta Noose, who does not smoke weed, and it's Be Real and Maceo trying to convince him to smoke marijuana. That's the only thing I can tell you about the song. But it's funny, it's hilarious, and for a person who does not smoke marijuana, I'm just a never partaker. I've always sort of been against it. I'm not really. I was a drinker, and so the drug thing wasn't ever my deal. But the song is just funny. It's just one of those. The way that it's written and cleverly hip hop, and it's one of my favorite songs. Gosh, I cannot believe you pulled that song out of the ether. It's an amazing record.
Got you talking.
It does. It's an amazing record. It is. It's such an amazing record. It doesn't matter what your proclivities are. You will love that song. I promise you. I endorse it. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Were you Were you? No doubt.
And dirty these days.
Did you? Now, you were a Cypress Hill fan. There's no doubt, Mark Christopher.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, and I always thought the one thing that I loved about Be Real from Cypress Hill is that the voices always make the rapper. And Be Real has such a unique rap voice just for Cypress Hill. Just that little whiny, high-pitched voice that he has. It was always cleverly done with the songs that they chose. That's why I always love Cypress Hill for a West Coast group. There you go.
How can you not like this song?
That's exactly. It's so catchy.
Oh, yeah, good stuff. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, 91 southbound, you're looking at delays 33 down to 32 A and B. If you're north of 91, moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up just after 56 Governor Street up to 47 Sigourney Street. We had an issue in the right lane, and still there in the right lane, just prior to 47, also taking out the exit-only lane there. So stay to the left as you're moving through downtown Hartford, as you'd have to anyways. If you're traveling on the southbound side of 91, delays 33 to 32. Eastbound 84, really looking good. Just a little slowdown as you move up between 46 and 48. 291 eastbound, a little tight approaching the Bissell Bridge as you head Windsor into South Windsor. 2 westbound slowing exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. We had a report of an accident in that area. 9 northbound, you've got slow traffic at the Aragoni Bridge. If you're traveling 691 westbound, delays 7 up to exit 8A. If you're traveling into Waterbury, that looks good, 84 and 8. 84 eastbound and Danbury slowing from the New York-Connecticut line all the way out to exit 5. Again, 84 eastbound delays from 9 up to exit 11 in Newtown. South 95 New Haven tied up from 46 to 44. Southbound Parkway, look out for a crash just south of exit 63 in North Haven. Delays are pushing back into Wallingford behind that. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Tonight, with a couple of showers around, maybe a late night thunderstorm, low 70. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun, will stay humid. A couple of showers, there could be an afternoon thunderstorm, high 76. A shower, thunderstorm parts of the area tomorrow night, remitting, muggy, and a low again at 70. Warm, humid weather on Thursday. Clouds and occasional sun, a high of 84. And we expect another round of thunderstorms Thursday afternoon into Thursday night. Right now it is 79 at Windsor Locks. It's 74 in East Hartford, 77 degrees in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. Tom Shattuck here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? I know I am. What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing? It's about your weight. Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a torque card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made in your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IR.
1 minute.
To be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com.
800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. Reese on the Radio for the 5 o'clock focus today. Telephone number 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Avon approves New York developer Vessel's 4-story affordable housing community. The Planning and Zoning Commission has approved a 4-story affordable housing development, citing both the constraints of the state statute 8-30G and the vital need for affordable housing stock. The July 16 vote marks a win for a New York City-based developer, Vessel Technologies, who now has the green light for constructing a 64-unit apartment at 25 Avonwood Road. Vessel has been at the center of controversy in other Connecticut towns, such as Simsbury and Glastonbury, where its project proposals have been shot down by town commissioners, but now are moving forward after the developer won battles in court. The Avon development was also proposed in accordance with the state statute 8-30G, which essentially ensures that municipalities cannot deny any affordable housing proposal unless there's a specific, significant health or safety concern. I could think of several. Placing the burden on the town to defend its decision in court, according to project documents. So you don't have any say unless you want to take them to court, and you're going to have to prove that this is going to be hazardous to your community. You are going to be overrun. Now, it doesn't mean it's dead set. In this particular case, no one's been able to stop them in Avon, but other municipalities have. But should you be forced to? Should you be forced to have to deal with this? You worked really, really hard for your home, or to live into a community where they have nice homes and parks, like I was talking to with Mark Christopher. Walking areas, safe areas, jogging areas. We know there's going to be an element of certain things that are going to happen, and you have to ask yourself whether or not, you have a right to have your community be as safe and have people who care about it, or at least have some sort of sweat equity into that community as you do. To the phones we go. Let's go to, is Rudy still online? Let's go to Rudy in Florida. Hello, Rudy. You want me to Reese on the Radio? Hello, sir.
Hey, I'll comment on that, but I called a half an hour ago. So
yeah. I'm sorry.
I talked to Donald Trump in 2014 personally about that helicopter. No.
Come on. So, yeah, seriously. Now, look, do you want to talk about this thing, the 5 o'clock focus, or you want to talk about something else?
I'm going to give you the focus real quick, but I got two things. That woman that got interviewed about inflation or a criminal.
Yeah.
I lived in Philly for 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
She's black.
Yeah, I told you that.
Philadelphia is 99% Democrat.
Yes, it is.
And so there's no black woman on welfare, food stamps, whatever, voting for a Republican.
Exactly.
So,
that's why I said this undecided voter. No, they didn't vet this woman.
Only progressive lefties, liberals. MSNBC's audience is Green Party and progressive Democrats, and that's it.
Exactly.
So it is, though. You're not watching it unless it's for your job.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I told someone recently, I said, MSNBC, I watch them more than I watch Fox because they are literally stock full of great audio to play.
And also the fact that I will never watch them because they give Chris Christie time, and he's a
What do you do with that? Exactly. Whenever he's on, I just turn the channel. Anyway, so
one other thing before I tell you about the housing thing is is Biden resigning tomorrow at his press conference or Thursday?
Wednesday, no, but I will be on. Go to ReeseOnRadio.com. I will be on directly after his comments, so I will. I'm not giving a prediction yet. I'm not giving a prediction yet.
Okay.
All right.
So voting has consequences. I think the fearless leader of the Democrat progressives that run Connecticut, Mr. Barack Obama, said voting has consequences.
That's correct.
So you voted for this stuff. And if you didn't see it coming, Luke Ronan, his wife, got funded nonprofitly from the legislature and politicians to start this Affordable Housing Act.
Yep.
And the legislature actually, 5-6 years ago, passed a bill saying they're going to put affordable housing everywhere.
That's right. That was the initiative.
It's so funny because you got these love has no hate signs in the front yard and all that stuff, and the gay pride flags, and they're all supportive of it. Could you imagine? Are you familiar with Chicago?
Yeah, only a little.
So you have like the Taylor Homes and the Caprini Greens.
Sure.
And they were high rises for miles.
Yeah.
Good times. But there was also low rises, 4-story, like condominium type buildings in those complexes. Could you imagine, Blue Black Square in West Hartford, right?
Yep.
Whole Foods is there, every trendy restaurant. Can you imagine if they plopped down in one of the parking lots a housing project and moved North Hartford into that?
And I think that's the purpose. I think the whole purpose of that is to punish people who live in those communities because they believe in that. Listen, this was a product of the Barack Obama Biden administration back in 2010.
But it's great.
They went after
these progressive Democrats are being racist. As long as you keep it in the hood, we'll pay taxes for it.
Exactly.
But I don't want my kids playing Little League or going to school with these low income people from the city. They're brown and they're black, and they might even be Asian. But we don't want them in our lily white town. We don't want our daughters.
So you're saying, you're saying that if your community is if your community is liberal and you vote for this stuff, then you get what you deserve. In essence, as you said,
I don't think it's going to happen to them. They want it to happen in other neighborhoods.
That's right.
I lived in Middlefield. Middlefield in Durham is a red pocket of about 10,000 voters.
Yeah.
And it's like 3/4 Republican or conservative. And they share a school district, but they divide the two in half.
Yeah.
And we get looped. If you look at the district, Rosa DeLore's district goes right up I-91, and then there's a little hook that grabs Middlefield.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at
by,
Rudy. I'm looking at where this community is and where it's going to, at least the computer generation of this building. Trust me,
they're trying this in Middlefield though. They've been trying it for 8 years.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw that article as well. Let me move on, Rudy, because I got to grab some other people in here. Let's go to Joe. Let me go to Joe in Simsbury. Joe, you're on with Reese on the Radio. Hey, sir.
Hello there. First of all, I need to thank Matt from Bristol. Someone told me that
he did. He was
I went back and
glowing.
listened. I really, really appreciate that. Very
Not
nice.
a problem.
Very, very nice. It's interesting. I'll talk about the low-income housing because this is my area.
Okay.
But geographic area, I should say. But I just wanted to make a quick comment about Kamala and the potential that she's the Democrat nominee for president.
Yes.
A lot of women out there will use the reason that Donald Trump, they would never vote for him because he had a side chick, but they're going to turn around and they're going to vote for the side chick.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly.
I mean,
exactly
how messed
right.
up is that? How hypocritical is that?
It's got no rhyme
You
or
know?
reason, sir. Joe. It's got no rhyme or reason. So one of the towns that's in this article is Simsbury, and they fought Simsbury fought them off to keep low-income housing in their community. What do you know anything about that?
Well, we fought them because what they wanted to do was put too many people into thing, and it would totally change the character of the area, not the quality of the people that would come in.
Right.
But it was like, are you going to put project, on our main drag here? Because that, there were just way too many units, so they downsized it and they accepted it. But I'm going to say something that I'm sure will offend some people, but I feel pretty strongly about it. I'm not against low income housing. As long as the low income housing is put in the right area of the town, so as to not interfere with the lifestyle and the value of the homes that other people have bought in the area.
Exactly.
Because what right do you have to do that? But this is the part where I think people may find offensive. The fact is that, boy, and I'm going to get in trouble here.
Okay, be delicate. Be delicate.
There was okay. So I feel, and this would also apply to many of the illegals that have come over.
Okay.
That if you are playing by the rules, that we would like to welcome you to our community. I'm not with Donald Trump when it comes to we're going to deport all of you, because within that deport all of you, there are some real good people who have done nothing wrong and will never do anything wrong.
Right.
And yes, they did violate the law.
Right.
But I think when it comes to low income housing, that you become a lawbreaker, you're out.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to be out.
Exactly.
And we need to be so strict about that, because I want people in this town that if they're living in low income housing and their child is going to school and their child is utilizing the services of the school and contributing to the school and not getting in any kind of trouble. We had a big brawl that was on X in Simsbury High School with a number of people who are not Simsbury residents but are brought into the town.
Yeah.
And I just feel that zero tolerance.
Yeah.
We're giving you a privilege. And if you take advantage of the privilege in the right way, we want to continue to give you that privilege. But if you don't, you're out.
And what's funny about that, Joe, another part of that is, and my wife were talking about this earlier because she was doing a lot of research on this, is that especially if these homes, or at least these patrons of these homes, the people who live in these homes, if it is government subsidized, right, they should they should adhere to the, I guess, the quality of that community. And once you violate that, if you're running around, committing crimes, as it were, in any fashion, or at least that's detrimental to the community and its values, you should not be able to get federal funding, if not state funding, to live in there and continue to destroy the community and the fabric of it in that way. That in and of itself, I agree with you. And there should be something that the community should be able to push back on. If we're going to be forced to take this, low-income housing apartment or housing in the area, at what point do we have a say-so here? Do we have none, or does anybody get to come in and then the fabric of our community get completely shredded? In what way because we pay taxes too. Do we have any say whatsoever? And I think that's a fair bargain.
As long as there's left-wing progressive attorneys, we really don't have a say, because they will fight tooth and nail, for the so-called rights of these people. And it's to me, it's very similar to Kamala, where a lot of people probably don't recall, and I hope there are people on the left who are Kamala fans that are listening to this. She created a bail fund for BLM rioters. She was for.
She was promoting it. Someone created it, but she was promoting it, and they gleaned some $2 to $6 million, somewhere around that line. They got a lot of money out of her promoting it on her Twitter page.
She also promoted no cash bail in California.
That's correct,
and we see how that's working out. And also, we all know that she's been to the border. I've been to a lot of borders, as she says. And these people that are it's going to be the same people that we fight the low income housing fight with.
Yeah.
There's so much child sex trafficking at that border. She's the one in charge of that.
That's
and
correct.
You don't like Donald Trump, and you want to make the same kind of decisions to bring in low income housing where you don't have strict rules for people.
Yeah.
It's kind of an illness as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
To think like these people do.
Thank you,
But
Joe.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you. I've only got roughly about a minute left, so you guys hold on. I'm going to take Tim, Carol, and Michael when we come back from the break. So please stay on the line. I want to get your take on this. If you're just joining us, the 5 o'clock focus is Avon is going to be pretty much forced to develop a 4-story affordable housing community in Avon. And there's pretty much nothing that anybody can do to stop it. You have to go to court in order to stop this developer, but it doesn't look like the developer is going to be stopped, and it's going to happen. So it will change Avon considerably. And you may think it's hyperbole to suggest that somebody who's going to move in is going to destroy the fabric of the community or make the quality of life less than what it is. But come on, let's be honest. Where has this worked? And if somebody can show me that, I'll shut my mouth and move on, but I doubt it. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with our good friend, Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Thank you very much, Reese. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, we do have an accident downtown, and that is on the westbound side of 84. And that is taking out the right lane and the exit-only lane at 47 Sigourney Street. So look out for delays there. If you're backed up now to 56 Governor Street behind that. Eastbound side of 84, just a little slowdown as you move between 46 and 48 Capitol Avenue. 91 southbound tight, 33 down to 32, again down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weather Shield line. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 eastbound's a little slow getting over the Bissell Bridge heading into South Windsor. 2 eastbound, that's a good ride, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 2 westbound is a little slow from exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Quiet Middletown, 84 eastbound Waterbury, a little tight by exit 18. 84 eastbound Danbury delays from the New York, Connecticut line out to 5. Again, 84 eastbound slowing in Newtown 9 to 10. South 95 in New Haven slows 48 to 44. 91 southbound a little tight as you move from 3 down in toward the 95 interchange in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Jeez, why does Be Real look so fat?
Warm, humid air for the southeastern states is being pumped directly into our area, and this trend will continue over the next.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said, why does Be Real look so fat in this picture?
Because he was.
8 to 82. Humid and rather cloudy tonight with the.
That was over a decade ago.
Low near 70
God,
and for tomorrow.
he had a
clouds
whole
and few
beer
sunny
belly.
breaks again,
Jesus.
humid with a couple of showers and maybe a thunderstorm, especially in the afternoon and at night. High tomorrow 78, low tomorrow night once again around 70. And more of the same on Thursday. Warm and humid, clouds and occasional slight high 84. As a cold front of parts of the area, we expect a couple of showers and thunderstorms Thursday afternoon and evening. Any storm can bring flooding downpours and localized damaging wind gusts. Later Thursday night, it'll dry out and skies will clear with the low of 65. Much nicer weather on Friday, partly sunny, lower humidity, and a high temperature of 84. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. The head of the Secret Service is out. Kimberly Cheetle resigned amid intense criticism for the handling of the assassination attempt on former President Trump 10 days ago. This amid concerns over how the shooter was able to get as close as he did to the location of the rally back on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez will resign effective August 30th. The 70-year-old convicted this month of taking bribes and being a foreign agent for Saudi Arabia. Meriden police investigating a fatal shooting. They say the death of a woman Monday night was the result of a dispute. Name of the victim has not yet been released. It is the city's first homicide of the year. There's been an uptick in those so-called skimmers being placed in credit and debit card machines at self-checkouts in stores across the state. Suspects have hit stores in Naugatuck, Plainville, and Prospect, and authorities say it appears to be the same group of people who are behind those. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries have endorsed Vice President Harris, capping off her party's swift embrace of her 2024 presidential candidacy. She made her first campaign stop today in Wisconsin, saying the election runs through the Badger State. On another front, President Biden has returned to the White House after a week-long battle with COVID. He will address the nation from the Oval Office for the first time since he announced he would not seek re-election. This comes up tomorrow night at 8 on Wednesday, and you can hear it here on WTIC News Talk 1080. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 57 points today to 40,358. NASDAQ was down 10. S&P lost 8 points for the day. Red Sox baseball tonight on TIC. Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Sox and the Rockies in Colorado. 7:40 is the pregame. 2-game Subway Series gets going at the stadium tonight between the Mets and the Yankees. And in the Eastern League, the Yard Goats host Harrisburg at Duncan Park, 7:10 on the Odyssey app. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, low testosterone causes a host of problems. These include a low sex drive, bad sleep patterns, unproductive workouts, decreased energy, brain fog, and more. But many men just attribute these symptoms to aging and don't consider that there are medical treatments that can give them back their vigor and vibrancy. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're feeling like I just described, it's time for you to treat that low T and change your life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. We've successfully treated thousands of men for low T and have seen the amazing difference that those treatments can make in a man's life. If you're feeling like the vast majority of men who are low T, within just a few weeks, you'll feel your energy return. That brain fog will go away. Your sleep will improve, as will your workouts, and your sex drive will be significantly enhanced as well. So make an appointment and make a true life change. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices across the Northeast to serve you.
Today, we're constantly videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone?
Damn, this
what
day
about
went
the
by
memories
fast,
tucked away
Roland.
on aging VHS tapes, film reels?
What happened?
This day went by
These
fast.
Oh yeah, I know. Once you start getting into the rhythm, it just flow.
They're not. There's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
Then you always have a lot of callers, so that make it go faster too.
Yeah, that's
With one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century. It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click. Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands. Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments. Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
More De La Soul. I'll always put there, hey, Pastor Will in the house. Let me take this, read this chat room comment from Tara P. She writes, I feel like we have no say. More and more development is going up in my town. Take a look at West Hartford. This is what they want apartment towns to look like, or app towns to look like. They say we need housing. For who? The biggest generation is our senior generation now. It's a very good point. She said, she goes on to say even more. She says that I don't want that in my town. I don't think those developments are rented. Elected officials have this idea that we need housing for who? Our largest, she goes on to say that again. There are 4 senior assisted living facilities in my town. Some are not at capacity. But again, listen, this is nothing more than a pet project by a bunch of bureaucrats who want to appear like they're taking care of a group of people that they believe are underserved. So forcing the issue on people who have worked hard to live in those communities in question, which again, that just drives me nuts because look, I didn't buy my house to turn it into some experimental proving ground. You know, and when you completely disrespect the fact that people have worked hard to buy their first home, to move into a community, to get their kids into a good school so they get an education, they're not forced into the doldrums of the public school system that usually leaves those kids left behind. When you do all of that only to come back to the hood, I was like, wait a minute. I moved all the way out here to get out of the hood. Now you're bringing the hood to me? I didn't call DoorDash for the slums. That's all I'm saying. What's going on here? So to the phones we go. Nope. No, he's gone. Is everybody gone? Oh, no, that's right. I got to go to the PPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher in a second. I'm just saying, that's just not. I did not ask for that. I didn't ask for that. I want my community to be the community that I moved into. Don't change it around at all. By the way, tonight, Reese on the Radio Rundown, 8 o'clock tonight. Make sure you check it out at reeseontheradio.com. Folks, for those of you who are talking about, who see this groundswell of support for Kamala Harris tonight, I'm about to put that to bed. Black New Yorkers not happy about this pick, not happy about the coronation, if you will, of Kamala Harris. And if New York African Americans are not happy about it, folks, that means no one is. Trust me, we'll play that. We'll have that video for you tonight on reeseontheradio.com, so make sure you check it out, plus a whole lot more. Now, let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading westbound 84 into Hartford, look for delays 56 Governor Street up to 47 Sigourney Street. 84 eastbound, some slow traffic about a half mile before 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Southbound 91 delays 33 to 32 again, down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weather Shield line. Looks good northbound 91 Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor, 291 through 84 okay east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury into Marlboro. Quiet Middletown, Waterbury looks okay, 84 at 8. 84 eastbound delays from the New York, Connecticut line. Out to exit 5, 84 eastbound again tight by exit 11 in Newtown. Southbound on the Parkway, you're going to see slow traffic now as you move from exit 61 down to exit 60 in Hamden. 95 southbound delays 46 down to 44. Southbound 91 New Haven slowing from 3 down in toward the 95 interchange. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Also cloudy and humid tonight. A couple of showers in the area later on. A low of 70. Tomorrow, clouds, limited sun. Humid once again with a couple of showers and maybe a thunderstorm in the afternoon and at night. High tomorrow 78 and a low tomorrow night of 70. Warm, humid weather continuing on Thursday. Clouds and occasional sun. A couple of showers and thunderstorms likely later Thursday and Thursday evening. Any of these can be heavy and gusty. On Thursday, 84. It's currently 79 in Enfield. It's 74 in Middletown and 77 degrees in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Morrison of the WTIC Weather Center.
At the Carter Mario Law Firm, we've recovered over $1 billion for injured people. When you need someone to fight for you, you need to get Carter in your corner. Visit getcarter.com or call us at 877-GET-CARTER.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Do your dress shoes, casual shoes, boots, and even your sneakers hurt? And are you starting to wonder, isn't there any shoe out there that'll get rid of my foot pain? Maybe you don't need a better shoe. Maybe you need better support in your shoes. That's where the Good Feet store can help.
When I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with plantar fasciitis, he told me that I could only wear sneakers. So there went all my summer collection of shoes and all my dress shoes I couldn't wear. It was just too painful, too much foot pain every day. I wanted to take off my shoes as soon as I got home every day, but as soon as I got my arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have no foot pain whatsoever, and I can wear any dress shoe that I want.
Book an appointment for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with pain. Come see us at the Good Feet store and see how we can help. Come in today. We're located in Avon at 25 Climax Road across from Whole Foods. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome.
Wesley Financial Group.
1 minute.
On a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
And we are back, about to wrap this.
That timing was precise.
It's Reese on the Radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC, about to wrap this whole thing up. Roland feeling very proud of himself. Oh, man, it's great. It's like painting. It's like painting. It's like painting the perfect portrait. Anyway, back to the phones we go. But before we do, let me just say, folks, ReeseOnTheRadio.com, ReeseOnTheRadio.com, ReeseOnTheRadio.com for the Reese on the Radio rundown. We'll be talking about Kamala Harris and, of course, this nonsense. Fritz the Cat says, you can take Reese out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of Reese. No, you cannot. But I didn't DoorDash the hood into my community. In fact, when I get into my community, you can imagine, like when I play my hip-hop music and people look at me and they just go, well, that's not like you, Reese. All right, now we can get to the phones. All right, Tim is in Hamden. Tim, what say you, sir? Do you like low-income housing in your community?
Yeah, I'm excuse me, Reese. I'm holding for the Wednesday shows.
He's so clever. Come on, you're on the air. Get to it.
45 minutes. Come on.
Hey, let me put it to you this way. Hey, Tim.
Jibber
Tim. With all due respect, I think they come to hear me.
Oh yeah, they come to anybody. Well,
anyway, go ahead, Tim.
All of these subject matters all together.
Well, the 5 o'clock. Listen, the 5 o'clock hour is dedicated to the 5 o'clock focus. So, do you want a low-income community in your housing in your community? Are you for it?
I'm wanting income communities. I mean, if you listen to some of the actual words about, as long as the people are good and they follow the rules. What do you want?
What's wrong with that?
You want them in like IZOD sweaters and stuff.
What's wrong with that?
Can
we make them wear the IZOD sweater? Can we get them to?
It's like,
can we get them all to dress like? Can we get them all to dress like the? Listen, can we all get them to dress like late 1990s boys to men singers? Can we get them to wear cardigans with cargo shorts?
If you were paying attention way out in Texas to the local problems here, and
this isn't a local problem. This is a problem no matter where you.
I'm trying to talk.
No, because you're saying what you're saying is not only Tim.
I was trying to talk.
Not only what you're saying is ridiculous, and I'm going to make this 100% clear to you. Before I drop the call.
The New Haven
before I
listen, with the tiny houses.
Listen to me. Before I drop the call, because again, I'm to be with all due respect.
Don't get your way, you shut off.
Okay, you know what, Roland, Exum. I'm gonna make this clear, just so we make this clear. We'll never have this debate again. Tim is not banned from this show. He's just banned for today. Let me just ban him for today. He can call back and he can rethink this. But let me make this 100% clear. And I made this argument back at WRKO in Boston when somebody had the nerve to get on the airwaves while I was on there and told me, Reese, you're not from around here. You don't know what we go through. To my response, which said, and I quote, do you think you live in Mars? Do you think you live on Venus? Do you live on Neptune? You live in Boston. I've lived in Connecticut. You're not in some faraway place. You're not an alien. The things that affect people in Connecticut affect people all the way in Oregon because they go through the same things. You're not dealing with some sort of alien race. So when people start talking all that nonsense about how you could possibly know what we're going through here, please don't insult me. Don't insult your own intelligence. Nothing is new under the sun. Everyone is trying to get low-income housing in their communities. Everyone is affected by that because some bureaucrat thinks that's the norm. So, and unfortunately, not everything is supposed to adhere to what Tim wants. And I know Tim thinks that, but I think he's going to get out of that little woe is me, why can't they do what I want them to do sort of radio idea that he has. So if you'd like to come back, come in and be respectful, or establish a fandom somewhere else, or at least a relationship somewhere else. I'm trying to be kind, and I've been incredibly considerate. But when you waste my time with that kind of rhetoric, there's nothing I can do with you or for you. Okay? So I'm trying to be respectful, so allow me to be. But once you've exhausted me being kind, I have to be disrespectful. And I'm not going there, because that's not the type of person that I am. So now I'll move on. Carol is in Connecticut. Hello, Carol. You on with Reese on the Radio.
Hello.
Hi, Carol.
Hi. I'm from Marlboro.
Okay.
And they're putting a 90 apartment unit right in Marlboro. And it's right like near the center of town. It's a very small town. They only have one elementary school.
Oh, wow.
And they have, they build a big Y. And we have an emergency medical clinic like in Westbrook. But, you know, I paid almost $16,000 of taxes here. And this is just, I went to the town hall like way back and they're going through with it. It's right up near the road from me. And they have the dump trucks in there and the bulldozers, and it's going to be low income housing.
So let me ask you this, Carol, because again, you said there's only one public school. Is this a K through 12 school in your area?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
and then they have to go to RAM.
They got to go to Ram High School. Okay. So
junior high and high school.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So all right, so even in that community, we're talking about a unit. You said 90 apartments, like 90 unit apartment building.
Yes.
That's considerable. Like that's
yes.
That's a full-fledged, like, well, we wouldn't call them the projects, but we call that an apartment building in New York. That's a legitimate apartment building.
And you know what? We only have well water here.
Oh,
We don't have city
man.
water.
Yeah, that's going to affect.
That's
So
gonna, like,
there's is there no infrastructure plan to accommodate the 90 unit apartment building?
What do you mean?
Well, usually if you're going to bring something like that, obviously there's going to be more resources used, and if it's only well water, we've obviously got to get more.
They might have. I know city water is on one side, but
Right.
well water is right down the road from me, and that's scary. You
Yeah.
know, and then you know, it's going to affect our schools. It's going to affect the medical clinic. You know, all these people, I mean, I hate to say it, but they could walk into that medical clinic and they don't have insurance.
Yeah.
That whole thing is going to be tied up.
And I don't think that, and that's the point that I'm making here, Carol, is the fact that you can't push back on things like this. If you do, everything in the book is thrown at you. Either you're bigots or you're racist or whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah.
And so,
and I'm not like that. But
exactly.
They can't handle it. We have one street light, one intersection in the center of town.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very small.
And see, that's the part I don't understand. Turning a small town into what's going to, as far as infrastructure is concerned, because you're going to have to accommodate all of those new people there, you almost have to turn it into a cityscape in some way, because to accommodate all of those services you're going to get for low income housing people.
Right.
Some of the local businesses might do better, right? You know, you have more customers in the area, but there's going to be a quality of life thing. There's clearly going to be more traffic. And in fact, Carol, I'll tell you this real quick before you go. When I used to work for U-Haul as an area field manager, one of the community the communities that I was trying to get in, it was a town called Prince William County. And you go to the Prince William County board and you try to get a local business to become a U-Haul dealer. If you do, you have to go through the county in order to get it done, for them to get the permits. aside from the fact that they ask you to put an application in for $16,000, where even if you are not approved, you lose that $16,000 for the approval thing, right? That's gone. But if you do get approved, not only do they ask you to change your landscape, right? You may have to put up trees in order to become a dealer. But another thing that they do that's amazing to me, and I've always thought this was crazy, that they do this because it's almost like legal extortion, is that they will charge you because the way in which you will be affecting rush hour traffic. And I had to tell the guy at the city council, I said, we don't affect rush hour traffic because people move on the weekends. So you would be charging us for something we don't affect. They said it doesn't matter because you're having trucks in the area. You're going to be contributing to the traffic in the area, and they're going to have to pay for that. So imagine you move into low-income housing with a bunch of people who are going to be using traffic lights and the roads and stuff like that, and they're not paying a dime. That's going to be going into that's going to end up being your tax dollars at work, if not a raising of your taxes in order to accommodate that.
Yep. And a lot of people are so unhappy here, and we're not racist here. We're just it was never meant to happen. We're just too small of a town to take this on.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Carol. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Michael. Michael's on the line. Hello, Michael. You want to Reese on the radio?
How are you, Reese?
Pretty good, Michael.
I'm so glad I made it through. First of all, I wanted to say that Rudy's call was great. We have a lot of great callers on this
Thank
station.
you.
Between Tim from Canton, everyone, and I can't even name all the ones that are great. One of the things I wanted to bring up is, so they're kind of attacking Trump. I'm sure, sorry, it's off topic.
Okay.
About Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, okay.
Putting the rights back to the states. Well, the Second Amendment is in the Constitution, and they put that to the states.
Exactly. Oh, and it's worse off because they have a candidate who's screaming that they're going to have an assault weapons ban, and they can't even define what an assault weapon is.
I would love it if you could do some research, and again, I know you're short on time, and go into that, because they
Absolutely.
have no problem with being...
Second Amendment's one of my favorite topics to talk about, along with Roe v. Wade and immigration. So it's definitely on my top 5 list. I will definitely get some information on that. Thank you, Michael. Michael, let me move on. I want to get one more in. Okay? I want to get one more call in. Let's go to Mark in West Hartford. Mark, you know a lot about this nonsense that's happening in Avon.
I sure do. But first, I got to ask you, going to have the area grievances on Friday again?
Of course I am.
Well, let's hope Tim. I want Tim, and I usually don't waste my time because I want to get to my content. But Tim just, he keeps bringing up the fact that you and Todd and Tom are from around here. I'm going to lay out all the facts of the local radio hosts in the last 30 years. And what a pleasure it is to have people who have no bias or connections where they're obligated to cater to the nonsense going on in Connecticut.
It's one of the things that I never seem to understand about this argument about that. Is if that, it's funny because I'll never forget when I first talked to the brass here about Connecticut, and everything that I knew about Connecticut, it still remains true to this day from when I used to live there in 2004. And again, I'm of the tri-state area, so it's not like I'm removed in any way. So it's like...
Or how's this, Rudy? Or how's this? Last comment about Tim. Tim, if you're concerned about Reese and Tom not knowing about Connecticut, why don't you educate them instead of just calling them out over and over?
Oh,
and over again?
I don't consider that.
Bring some content to the... So anyway, let's get to... one day you got to devote an hour to Sarah and Luke Bronin.
Yes, I know.
I sent you 2 things that... Sarah Bronin, and thankfully Rudy is on top. He is in Florida. He knows more than most Connecticut residents.
Sure.
She was more destructive. She's going to change, not only change the landscape in Connecticut, she's going to do it across the nation. Forget Luke Bronin and all the millions of dollars that we had to pay to keep that city afloat. Mm-hmm. Sarah is unbelievable. While she was sitting, and here's the funny part, the ironic part. Her and Luke live in a brownstone overlooking Bushnell Park.
Wow.
They are about a half mile away from any neighborhood. Their kids don't have kids. They're overlooking the park. They're surrounded by government buildings.
Mm-hmm.
But yet she changed the rules and the laws and policies where now towns like Avon. But again, I'm going to say what Rudy said. I don't feel bad for them people in Avon at all. A lot of them,
and most people
I know
don't.
them well.
And listen to me. No, hear me out, Mark. Because I'll totally let you finish this out. Look, I understand that some people in the community are saying, like, guys in Avon, these guys reap what they sow. I get that. Me, on the other hand, I look at it because, again, Avon is a beautiful town. It is. It's a place that I view as very idyllic in that way, and I love it. And I know that the people that are there vote for that kind of stuff, and they don't even realize what they are doing to themselves and how they're going to affect their community. And for that, I only stand up for it because it just doesn't make sense. And maybe they should consider it. I want them to consider it before it's too late. Because once it's too late and it's over, people are going to be going, what happened? And I'm like, we warned you. This is why you have to consider these things. It sounds like we're being cruel, but we're not. We're just saying that, look, some things need to maintain its integrity for the good of the community, not for the bad, for the good of it. Because if you don't care about the community, it will falter.
Here's the one major thing that's always left out of the conversation, and that's the infrastructure.
That's right.
You know, these towns, it affects roads, traffic lights, water, electricity, obviously public safety, your schools. Listen, Hartford has everything that they need. When they say there's a lack of housing, okay, now let's talk about Hartford. Did you ever see the building on I-84 for sale? There was a giant for sale sign. Listen, all you have to do is you can easily renovate all the water, the electricity hookups, the parking garages, everything. There's schools in the neighborhood.
Right, and put it right.
What?
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about room in the classroom, Reese, because guess what? Only half the kids in Hartford go to school.
Yep.
So the infrastructure is there for education.
That's true, too. We got to go. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. He is Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Have a great night. South of 91 coming in Hartford, a little slow down by 30.
All right, good sir.
All right, sir. See you mañana.
See you tomorrow. Have you heard anything back from Janine?
No, nothing yet. Nothing. Just to fill out the week.
Okay, cool.
All right,
that looks good. For 2 eastbounds, okay. Glastonbury.
All right, folks, out of here. Thank you, as usual. I'm sorry I had to do that to Tim. I was trying to be diplomatic. I'm sorry I had to do that. I try really, really hard. It's whatever. You kind of feel like every time you turn around, you try to be nice, you still get slapped in the face. I don't get it, but okay.